Guys, welcome back to the Joe Mobley Show. We got fan favorites. You guys are like so far out though. So they're here.
I'm close by
Nick, you
here.
can't see
Okay.
'em.
I'll come in.
Okay.
This is what happens when we don't have big corporate sponsors and fancy studios, but we have.
We sponsor ourselves.
This is the small bedroom.
Just on the fly.
Yeah, this is my house's small bedroom, which is an office. Anyway,
It works.
we're doing a little election coverage for you guys until about 9 p.m. We got Mr. Charlie Street. We got Dennis Christie, host of Immigrant Corner. But the website's not that. It's Real Immigrant
Real
Corner.
Immigrant Corner, which I have. The site is down. I'm revamping the site, so it's not going to come up.
Did
if
you
go to it.
change the name?
Dude, I got to do that.
Was there the Immigrant Corner and somebody had it, so you changed to the Real Immigrant Corner?
Yeah, the domain. Somebody purchased the domain.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Yeah,
See,
so it's one of those things.
it's like the Spinal Tap thing. They were called the Originals, but somebody had that, so then they were the New Originals.
Right.
Is
So-
that person lame? The person who's got joemobley.com, your site, I offered him $150 for it. He said no.
Look,
Oh.
so it's funny
Just
because
holding
I
out for
do,
money.
guys. I do have another YouTube channel called DIY Dad Hub. So when I went to set up the website for it, guess what? Some other guy has DIY Dad Hub, but it hasn't been
Of
active
course.
for like
Well, no.
years.
Every name is taken. Every name almost conceivable is taken.
Right.
And it's usually somebody owns big blocks of these
Well,
things.
you know, luckily on YouTube, Rumble, you know, DIY Dad Hub has not been taken, but I do have my website, DIYDadHub.net. So that's available. so-
.net, maybe
.net.
.org.
.net, I took that
.tv.
one. So, but Real Immigrant Corner right now, it's down. I'm revamping it. I'm working on it. So if you go there, it's not going to come up. But we're doing a live election update. We're going to do the red wave today.
The Red Wave. Okay, let's go.
We're going to do the red
Hopefully.
But on the bright side, one lucky person won the lotto. Almost.
Really?
I
The
think
Yes.
billion
it
dollar?
might have been me. I haven't looked at my number yet.
It's in California.
It wasn't
Listen-
you.
Oh,
Yeah, it was California. It wasn't here. So
my family
one
was
lucky
counting on
person.
that.
Almost $2 billion lotto. He won or she. I think it was a he from the way the news was
We
coming out.
could do a lottery, like gamble on if it's male or female that won the lottery.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Hey, but you know, here's the problem. Yeah, it's 1 point what billion? Almost 2 billion.
almost 2 billion.
See, here's the problem though. After, if they take it in one lump sum, they
Mhm.
only get something like 900 million. And then after taxes, it's only like 480 million. So that's not even worth going to pick up.
he's gonna get like upwards of $860 million.
But
That's
then
after taxes.
tax-
That's after
okay.
everything.
Well, maybe it's
So-
worth picking up at that point.
Look, you know what? Even half of that, good for him or her. That is a lot of money. You're set for life.
See,
Your
this
kids
is a
are set.
podcast about the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's set for life. His kids are set, his grandkids, whatever, and so on and so forth. But guys, I'm hopeful that this red wave is gonna kick some ass.
Well,
It's gonna kick some ass.
so there's a lot to talk about. One of the things we talked about a few days ago is, are the Republicans going to take the Senate? And I said I believe they are. I still
Yeah.
believe they are. And I don't
I
know,
don't know.
if you've changed. If
I
you
said
have-
I said they're gonna take it. I was
Yeah.
the first one that said you guys were
no, I
skeptical.
said it because I got to the shop before you, and I said it.
No, I said it. The best part is that we're both on the same wavelength.
right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So Charlie said it. I said it. Many people are saying the same thing, that Senate and House is going to go to Republicans. But that's not where it stops. Once that happens, if they take the House and the Senate, we got to keep them on their toes, and they're going to have to keep to their promise. This is not a free ride. You
Yeah.
get into the you get the chair. This is not a free ride for any of these politicians to, just because we vote you, you go in and you don't do crap. That's not the thing. We will hold you
Well,
responsible for everything you promise.
And it's looking like this is not just going to be a Republican victory. This is a MAGA victory.
Yeah.
That's where the energy really is. So I think we've got a new kind of breed of Republican coming in. It's just how many of the old guard can we push out?
I mean, we need to push out as much as we can. We need to, right now the Democrats are they're freaking out because of what's happening. They even some of the like famous people, I don't even know their names anymore, but they're coming out and say, "Oh, we lost our support, we lost our voters because we kept talking about abortion."
I thought that was their big issue.
That's the only thing they talked
Yeah.
about. That's the single thing they talked about was abortion.
Well, what they've said too is abortion was that's one, but the other thing they said is they're convincing their people you got to go vote because if you don't, you will lose your democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure how they think Republicans are stealing democracy because they're going and voting.
We don't vote the way that they want.
I mean,
Yeah, so then
I mean,
they're losing democracy. It doesn't make any
what? I
sense.
want democracy to be gone too, because we're not a democracy.
Oh no!
We're not a democracy.
We'll edit that out. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
We're
Joe.
not a
I'll edit
democracy.
that
We're-
out. I've got some-
We are a
That's
republic.
true, we're
We are a republic. We're not a
Okay.
democracy.
Constitution.
We're a constitutional republic.
We did have this discussion before, and what I say is a constitutional republic is still a form of, it's not a direct democracy, but it's a form of democracy.
I agree.
The
It's-
voice of the
We
people.
had this debate like
Yeah,
I
like
know,
1,000
it's not.
times.
It's a republic. You can there are two different types of things. Either the law sets above all, or the vote sets.
You know
above
who's
all.
a democracy? Iran.
The
Yeah.
law does sit above
You-
all,
That-
but
that
that
means
doesn't
republic.
mean
That means
yeah, but
republic.
ultimately
And-
it's the vote of the people that can change the Constitution and can put people in. So behind the whole process, it's a type of democracy that has guide rails. on
I
it
disagree.
to
You know
keep
why?
things from going.
This
going
democracy, and the definition of democracy is the government is in power. The government is in charge. That's the definition of democracy. When you are putting all your eggs in one basket, which is the government, they're making your decisions for you on every aspect of your life.
Hold
That's
on,
Iran.
Pause. This is more important. Has he always had that tattoo?
Yes.
What?
Did
We
you
just
know
did I think he
known
might.
each other for like
I
almost 2
think
years.
he-
No way.
You know how long
Does
I've
he
had-
normally wear a long sleeve shirt?
Never.
No way.
No, he doesn't.
I'm
How
always
is it
short
gonna
sleeves.
I'm always in a short sleeve.
You know, I think he uses some of the makeup, the stuff he puts up here, and he'll put it on.
You know
his
what?
arm.
Go back. Go
And that's
back.
what covered- you
Go
never
Go back to
noticed that?
every episode
No
we've done. I've
way.
had this tattoo since
It's
2013.
because you're sitting over there, and when you're
Probably,
sitting over
yeah.
here, it's on
Could
the
be.
other side.
Could be.
Yeah, I've had this since 2013.
No way.
Yeah.
I might have noticed. I might have
I've
noticed that.
never noticed.
What?
No.
That's crazy, Joe.
It's because you sat here and the outside of your forearm was
Probably.
always facing me, or you'd be like this.
Yeah, probably. But
What?
yeah.
In the basement too. I was on the far left, and then you, and then Charlie.
But how could you not catch it even during a podcast?
I don't
man?
know.
What the hell, but
Oh,
you know what? Now I
man.
feel offended. I'm gonna go home and cry.
I've got a friend named Rod. He could be watching. He's got a tattoo. He's got Nixon's head on
Mhm.
his rear end.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That is
that's
awesome.
made up.
That is awesome. What does the election look
We'll
like, Joe? What are we
FaceTime
at?
him in and he'll show us.
Hold on, I just gotta make sure that we're rolling. Okay, we're rolling.
I hope we didn't
you-
lose all that content.
You gotta check so many places, you know.
Senate 31, Republican
See, we're doing like a
31,
sports junkie
Democrats
stuff,
30,
it's just a chitter
what is that? 36?
Yeah,
Oh.
we can.
No
get
way
it
about
on
that.
there.
36 Democrat, 31 Republican.
Dude, those Senate polls are coming in. All right, so
It's too early.
It's 7:01. So the polls in Virginia, the polls on the East Coast, Eastern Time, closed 1 minute ago. So we should really start to see. Oh man, I got my texts are closed, aren't they? We
Well,
should
and as
really
we
start to
wait,
see results.
As we wait, let's just look at some of the So some folks, Larry Sabato sometimes is okay. He'll still miss it a bit, but there are various people I like. Sabato has the Senate with 51 Republican, 49 Democrat.
Okay.
He's also got the House picking up 24 seats, and he's got the governors with a net gain of 1 for the governor. I think we'll get more than that for governors.
I want to know what's going to happen to Pennsylvania, because we're not going to get the results for another couple of months
Until
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
have you guys been watching? So I pulled up the most trusted name in news or whatever, CNN. So did I close them? CNN is already saying that we're not going to expect to have results tabulated until Monday-ish.
What the hell?
Yeah,
For Pennsylvania? Or
For
in total?
the whole king
What is the
caboodle.
deal?
Which is over the. So it's Tuesday, guys. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday.
This is what I have to say. A democracy in Iran actually get the results the same day for presidency. And 50 states
Whoa.
cannot even get their freaking crap straight to have results.
We had all 50 states reporting in one day in the old days.
Yep.
We
When I
did.
say the old days, I mean like just a few
Unless
years
we
ago.
had an
10 years ago.
Did we have an uptick in population? Like, did we add like 60 million people to the?
No, yeah.
No.
No, you know what it
No,
is.
the
It's
Oh, I know what it is.
The
It's the
vote's gone
mail-in.
from 60 million to 80 million. No. Well, 80 million. Hey, we're not on YouTube because I got kicked off YouTube. So I don't
It's
know.
the mail-in that got.
I'm on YouTube.
Okay, so
But
I
even-
won't
you
say
know,
the thing.
even with the mail-in, open
YouTube.
the things in advance, open them in advance, and count them before election day.
Florida does
So,
that.
so there's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason.
Florida
have a
does that
cutoff
with
date.
early voting and
You
early
can't
mail-in voting.
postmark it on election day.
Well,
You have to have it in ahead of time.
Federal Women's campaign sued Pennsylvania to count the ballots had the wrong date or no date on them. Imagine
I
that.
saw that. I saw that.
Imagine that.
Can you take
These
can
are
you take that out?
these are ballots that have always been considered invalid ballots.
But
And
they
so
want to
he's
validate them.
suing to count
To validate
invalid
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
ballots. Yeah.
The unconstitutional
No, it's ridiculous.
votings.
There's a
the
reason
votes or
you have to
whatever.
have all that stuff on there. You know, there's a reason.
I love it, man. This is
Otherwise, you can just stuff a ballot box.
well.
I
This
mean,
is
it's not on there for decoration.
Charlie. My wishful thinking is going to be this: that the red wave is going to clean house, right? Then all the election deniers, the Democrats, are going to come out and they say,
Then guess who the new election deniers are?
right, the new election deniers are going to come out of the house and say, "Oh, this was a steal." The election got
Well,
stolen and crap like that. So
Suddenly,
I'll wait for that.
suddenly it'll be okay to be an election denier.
Oh my-
I
This is
saw
what's
that.
coming. Yeah, you see.
Yeah. So South Carolina already going red. Indiana, it's
It
red.
says it says 0%
Zero.
of the vote. Wow.
But they're
Wow.
already calling it with 0%.
With
They're
0%,
that
it's already
sure.
been called.
Wow.
Wow. Well, California should be called already too.
Yeah.
Indiana's up 61.
You know, New York though, there's crazy things happening there.
New York, dude, they're
they're
scared.
Republicans coming out
Oh,
of the
their
woodwork.
polls close at 9?
Yeah.
Dang, Virginia. Why Virginia's not? Oh, we don't have a senator up in Virginia.
Didn't used to be that way.
Let's see here, dude. I heard. Where's Yesley? She's right there. I heard on John Frederick. No, John Frederick's called into Bannon's show on Real America's Voice,
hmm
and he said that Spanberger's done.
Really?
And they had someone outside of, I think they had someone outside of Yesley and Spanberger's campaign headquarters. But
Why is he out?
she,
She.
Do you mean just they're predicting just
the exit
support?
polls, the exit
Are so
polls for
bad.
Yesley today.
Mm-hmm. But like embarrassing.
Yeah. So, and I don't trust Spanberger as far as you can throw her. One,
I don't trust
remember when
anybody.
Democrats were like anti-government, big government institutions? Career CIA lady Dawn
Yeah, they were anti-CIA,
Yeah.
anti-FBI, anti-corporation.
So how is Abigail Spanberger their hero? She's like Nancy Pelosi. Like if Nancy Pelosi adopted a child that was just like her, it would be Abigail Spanberger. Like they have the same blue pantsuit with a little pearl necklace and those little ugly heel things. That
That
they're not heels, but they're like
See?
these little.
They're all in uniform. Like, does nobody see that? Like, Pocahontas, she's in uniform all day. Elizabeth, what's her face? Elizabeth Warren. She's always in
Elizabeth
uniform.
Warren, yeah.
She's always wearing
I
that
think
stupid
she
blue
sleeps
jacket.
in that,
Yeah,
outfit.
it's either blue or green jacket. Like it's such a stupid style jacket that she has. Most of them are in uniform. These people, and that's their democracy.
Doesn't AOC usually wear like that red?
She's falling into that same
the
form.
red outfit with the bright red lipstick.
No, she doesn't wear a red outfit because it's not the color of the party. This is the battle of the Crips and Bloods. So,
except more violent.
Yeah, this is a lot more. I mean,
More
Crips and
violent.
Bloods, they're scared of the Democrats and the Republican Party. They're like, they should sue for copyright reasons because Crips and Blood, that was their theme.
For the concept.
For the concept,
Stealing
red
the
and blue.
concept.
All right, I wanna see what these peeps are talking about. Now I
Well,
wonder.
And I saw Bannon's not on War Room. Bannon's on
He's on the
Newsmax.
yeah.
Oh, he's on Newsmax right now.
Well, when
We
we
just
sat
saw
down
him.
a few minutes ago,
Yeah, he
that
was on there.
Newsmax.
I don't want that one.
We
Or
like
here.
to share. We
Well,
like to share. We've been sharing a long time.
we'll play her.
We've been doing media together for a long time now. So you mentioned some of the guests that are here. Sebastian Gorka, which I know Steve Bannon knows him very well. He was just recently on the show.
No, it's Gorka.
He smoked cigars over there at the McLean cigar place. Too.
Whoa. We don't want everyone going.
Bruce Lavelle is here.
Oh,
yeah, he
does. More the
Boris,
merrier.
we have Boris Epstein here. As I'm looking around, Danielle D'Souza Gill. She's, of course, Dinesh D'Souza's daughter, and she said already that she would come on with us. Brandon Gill is here as well. Gosh, I see so many. Jason
Susan and Laura Ingram were once engaged.
Yes,
When will we know about the
Yes,
local
on my show.
results?
Huh?
About the local results.
Well,
Yeah, I want to know how long Cal's going to do.
Yeah, when Young Cal Rivera.
I would love to see him win. It's just,
Oh man,
it's gonna.
epic.
It's
dude.
just Loudoun County. It's impossible.
I saw him on the way when I left the school this afternoon. Well, about noontime, he was there.
Oh really? Oh, just stand outside.
No, he was driving right next to me. We were on our way out. He hit me up. I think he's going to be at the Black Walnut.
Oh, tonight.
But yeah,
Oh,
so
there's our boy.
oh my goodness. Rumble, Facebook, Getter.
what's happening?
I hope you're watching right now because I'm texting you because you're complaining about not being able to watch. It's not on locals. It's literally on everything. We're on Clout Hub right now. I finally set up the Clout Hub.
Did you?
Yeah. Here, let me turn this back up.
Guess what? We're going to go to Battleground, Georgia. We got the big Senate race, big governor's race. Don and Donna, Cowboy Logic. They're
Stacey
coming up
freaking
after a
Abrams.
quick break as this special report rolls on.
Stacey Abrams. Is she going to concede this time?
Probably not.
No,
Talking about freaking election
she didn't
deniers.
concede for like 3 years.
She's the
before.
biggest election denier ever.
Oh, she's the queen.
She
of election
is the
denial.
biggest election denier ever. I don't understand how.
She took it to a whole nother level.
Oh my God, this federal woman.
Dude,
See, federal woman.
cyborg.
I don't like Dr. Oz.
I know a lot of us don't.
I don't really like him. There should have been somebody better in his place. But I mean, for now, I guess he might be okay. We just have to let's give him a shot and see what's going on.
He helps the numbers, and he still helps us on some. the thing I always say is you got 3.5 years to find the right people. After 3.5 years, those last 6 months, you support the nominee.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the whole point of voting is to put somebody in there that's effective, right? To actually,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly, exactly. Like I don't want Ukraine to be funded anymore. Like I want that shit to end quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's no reason to put
There's
a
no
dollar.
reason. Okay. I don't give two hoots if Russia takes half of Europe. I don't care.
Well, at this point, they've sort of waved the white flag. I think as long as they can get fuel for winter, they probably turn their country over.
They screwed themselves royally with all this like green energy and like all that crap. So you know what? You advocated for it. This is your chance. Cut all your fossil fuel.
Same thing with California. and
They let a
Central
16-year-old girl make their fuel
Good.
policy.
Cut off your fuel. Cut off your fossil fuel. Go to green energy. This is what you wanted. This is what you voted for, and this is what you put the people in there
Let
for.
them get a taste
Do
of
it.
that,
Exactly.
and then maybe there'll be a change of mind coming down the road.
Oh, I mean, this is how stupid these people are because they don't understand fossil fuel will never go away. I don't give a damn if you fill the entire world with fans and solar panels, it will still not produce enough energy to power anything.
No, because those were things like solar panels and wind, they only power something like 4%.
Yeah, they're super
solar
volatile.
panels it's a novelty. It's not even hardly a real source of energy. If you look at the whole
have
picture
we had
of
the
energy
talk before?
What we might
No,
have.
we talked
I'm-
about gravity.
I am big
We
on
talked on
nuclear
gravity.
100%.
what?
The propaganda campaign against nuclear energy is insane, and I
Oh,
bought
it's
I bought
ridiculous.
into it too until randomly when I was doing my master's work, I randomly got assigned to writing these white papers about nuclear meltdowns and serious incidents.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so we've all been lied to about that stuff.
Yeah.
More people die in the production and manufacturing, all that stuff, transport or distribution of solar panels in like a quarter than have died in multiple years in the production.
From radiation.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So
Super
petroleum, coal, and nuclear all have dangers. They're not all completely safe. But without those big three, you're going to you can't fuel the world.
Look,
You can't heat homes and transport things around the world.
biggest nuclear disaster was in Japan. That was the biggest nuclear disaster, right?
Yeah.
The nuclear plant there, and that was because of an earthquake that happened. So in the United States, we haven't had any nuclear incidents from power plants. Nuclear waste goes into a mountain.
We had 3 Mile Island,
Which I think,
what you
When
heard
it was
about
contained.
it and what actually
Oh,
happened
yeah.
are probably different.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
but
I'm talking about
number of
like
that
people
were hurt was almost-
like significant
nothing.
effect. So the nuclear waste it goes into a mountain, they pour concrete over it, and it's done with. They don't have to do anything with that thing.
I almost bought that camera. That's a good camera.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Sony.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
autofocus on that's like the best.
So
I need to look into something new, so I'm gonna think.
yeah, the A6. This is a mirrorless camera, so produces excellent video. Excellent.
And both of these you can just hold and like this doesn't have anything to do with politics, but you can just hold and like run and gun and do live
Yeah.
vlogs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's
So I
great
right.
think you're going to turn into a big blogger, right? A day in the
Huh?
life of Charlie.
Hey, you never know. I'm thinking about doing a fitness channel as well, and then a productivity channel. And, all sorts of things.
All right, they're back. I want to hear this Georgia stuff if we didn't miss it.
Karen, Ed, if you had said a year ago that we'd be sitting here on election night talking about flipping the House on just in Long Island around New York City or on C-Sigley 1 in New England,
Right.
people said you're crazy. That's where this is. And by the way, what it's all predicated upon? A massive MAGA turnout on game day.
Exactly. And to your point, a month or two ago, if you had said we might have 54 seats in the Senate when Dustin,
people would have said you're crazy. Maybe 51, maybe 51. So each one of these Senate battles is critical. Earlier in the program, we heard from Blake Masters live on the phone from Arizona. Another critical battleground, of course, is Georgia, where Herschel Walker is facing us, of course, with Senator Warnock. Our own Don and Donna from Cowboy Logic are there live at Herschel Walker's Victory headquarters. Don and Donna, give us the flavor. What's the mood there? How are people feeling? Have you had a chance to see the candidate? Good evening.
Well, Steve, Ed, and Karen, great to be with you.
I think
We
it's gonna
are
take
here in the great county of Fulton County, Georgia. Oh, right next to Fulton. So at least no leaky toilets yet, but the night is young. So we'll see what happens with that. But you know, you guys have been talking for, gosh, years about how people are just ready to vote and they're coming out in mass. And quite honestly, what we're finding is that is exactly the case right here. We spoke to a few people who've been pretty much involved with the Herschel campaign, as well as just involved with campaigning in general. And one thing they are saying is if you are wearing a shirt or something that might be electioneering, that you can't wear it to the polls. So
but
that's
somebody
not
did.
going to deter these people
They're
here
gonna
in
vote.
Georgia.
They're going to vote. Here's what happened, guys and gals. And Karen, you probably better close your ears on this one, Karen, because this is for the guys. Here's what happened. There was a woman that went to the there was a woman that went to vote. They didn't like the shirt she had on. They made her take her shirt off.
No, she took her shirt
She
off.
took her shirt off and she voted in her bra.
Oh, boy.
Because that is the resolve that people
Only in Georgia.
Yeah, really. Exactly. Only in Georgia. But some of the people.
Here's the thing that pisses me off about the electioneer and stuff. And I'm curious how come the Supreme Court hasn't weighed in on this. Maybe no one's made a complaint. But for me to wear something, if I'm not electioneering, I'm not working for the poll, I'm not working for the poll place, I'm not a precinct captain or whatever, because they have to dress clean. Like when I was an election officer last year, I didn't even wear. Oh, actually, I think I wore this shirt. I wore a red, white, and blue Liberty shirt, but the blue base, if anything, it'd be argued that it's, well, anyway. And I was like, if someone says something about this, they can kick rocks.
Yeah, but let's say you wear a Youngkin shirt.
Yeah, and or I wear, like, part of my personal branding is my stupid red hat that's in the backseat of my car.
Yeah.
As a private citizen, if I'm just walking in wearing it, it's obvious First Amendment,
it's
freedom
First
of
Amendment.
expression, speech, whatever.
And if you want to go
I'm not
in and
talking
say,
to anyone.
I'm proudly voting this way, so what?
I don't
So
use
what?
the stupid little privacy sleeve. I just walk around. If you want to look at who I voted for, it's on the stupid paper.
Well, yeah, a lot of it. And then a lot of folks, they pick up the Republican or Democrat thing, walk around with it. You can see who they're going to vote for, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's ridiculous.
What is this guy doing?
He's in a mall.
NBC. How do you guys still have jobs? Like, it's hard for us
I
to start
know.
up because we're gaining supporters one at a time.
Yeah.
But how do these bozos still have jobs? How do they have billions of dollars behind them?
After being wrong on a daily basis.
Constantly.
After
They were born
discredited.
they were born wrong. So
And
that's
month-
a lie of life.
Month by month, they care less about the truth.
Georgia too early to call. Okay. Do you
But
think
look
Warnock?
at, look at
do you
what
think
they
actually
had for
Warnock?
Stacey Abrams, though.
But dude, do you actually?
They had
Dude, I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
but
No
it depends on
way.
what precincts have come in.
a second ago.
Yeah.
A minute ago, it was
way.
5%, and it was like 75% Abrams. Here's the problem, though.
But that's only 10% in though.
Yeah, but when it was 5% in, you mean to tell me that precincts in the large, bustling metropolises that have 1,500, 2,000, maybe as many as 5,000 for that one precinct,
Mhm.
they turn in their stuff before all of the podunk towns that have 500 or 200 to 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think that's
It
true.
does. This is this right here. It's not even on the screen.
Well,
Let me put
in
it on the
those
screen.
precincts, they don't have to turn their stuff in. They just turn the numbers in.
Yeah. let me put this on the screen so you guys can see what we're ranting about here.
Oh, let me.
No,
Because
but it's a good point. Why why would these disorganized urban areas get their numbers in first?
Yeah, but just population. But I for most of my life, I was a Lynchburg. I was a Campbell County voter, Rustburg, Virginia, tiny little town. A precinct. There are only like 2 precincts, and each one's got whatever 3,000 total voting.
Yeah.
That precinct comes in before. Okay, well, Ashburn, where we live now, it's broken up more, so the precincts are smaller. But when you look at these towns, and we're talking the Athens area, what county is Atlanta in? Staples,
Peach County,
Arena,
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But
there's no way that
no,
they have polling places that are freaking stadiums.
Yeah.
There's no
But
way
see,
that those numbers.
You're
come
also
in.
looking at it as which groups, which precincts are more efficient. It might not even be that. It might even be who is receiving those numbers and then putting them up. See, they could be picking and choosing like, well,
Man, I don't know.
I'm gonna put these numbers in first, and then I'll look at these numbers later. I
Not
don't know how that works.
not an expert. It seems like from when I ran one as an EO, the only person who could really slow it down is the precinct captain. And the way that they could slow it down is by saying, we're not reporting any numbers until the poll closes,
Yeah.
which is absurd
Well-
because poll watchers are out there asking for numbers. They're sending them back to campaign HQs. My captain was not that way. I went to maybe 15 or 16 precincts today, and I ran into a couple to include where I actually vote. And this woman, she was a raging liberal with her short blue hair, and like as soon as she like crested the corner, I was like, oh, why? And she wanted to get into this tit for tat thing, and then I walked outside and found someone. I said, hey, go give me the numbers, and they came back with the true story.
But see, the point is too, when the numbers are ready, where do they post the numbers?
So they can send the numbers to poll watchers, and they can share those numbers as raw numbers as at 10 a.m. or whatever. When I asked, my precinct was 354 reported,
Yeah.
and that
So you
precinct
report-
has 1,700 eligible voters, and Hunt Cow would say, we're looking for 1,200 on the day voters, and we're looking for a 40% exit poll response, and that lets us know that we're going to win this precinct.
Well, but you wouldn't give the numbers directly to NBC or say you give the numbers
You can give the total number of this many people. This many people are 1,000 people are eligible to vote here, and 250 have voted.
So that's
you
what
can
I'm
give
saying.
that
You give
number.
it directly to the media.
You could give that to anyone. You could give that to a voter.
Yeah.
Hey, the voter can actually see it's on the ballot.
So those numbers should be popping up as soon as they're ready, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
we
the
should
captain can
know.
hold
I
that.
mean, by midnight, we should have a good idea of who's winning and who's losing.
Yes, but they're screwing us, guys, because they're making.
But
you believe-
Pennsylvania at midnight, that's when the dump happens.
But days ago, CNN.
Yeah, no, that's what
MSNBC.
somebody said online. They said, "I'm not worried about Tuesday. I'm worried about
Next week.
Wednesday at 3:00 in the morning."
Right. Because that's when the
Mhm.
dump happens. That's
Yeah.
usually when the dump
Tonight
chunk.
at
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens
Yeah.
because these people are
Yeah.
just they're
But even with that, they've been like Pavloving us to expect these results next week on Monday. Like,
And-
how do we think that elections are safe and secure? France is using paper
See-
ballots and paper envelopes that they've used the same envelopes for like 100 years.
Isn't that
They're
amazing?
these blue. I was speaking with a woman who I don't even know how legal this is. She's an American citizen, and she worked in intelligence for a while, but she ended up working at an election site in France when she was there for work.
Okay, that's.
I don't
good.
know if you're a dual citizen.
Well, I mean, I guess technically, governments contract out, just like around here, and you've got
I would feel
contractors
so
that are
weird
there
about that.
doing the technical work.
I would feel so weird about a French intelligence worker.
I know.
at my
No,
polling
I would
place.
too.
But she
Well-
was enamored with the history of it, and she said, she asked if she could feel one, and they really didn't want to let her, but they let her. And so she held, the 100-year-old blue envelope from France, and they're done like 9 p.m. that night. Polls close at 7, 9 p.m.
I
they
mean,
got 'em
frankly,
done.
that's the way it should work, and there's less room for shenanigans. You saw the story
Yes.
about, what was it, a few days ago? They caught this guy putting a thumb drive into a machine,
Yep.
unauthorized. Computers are efficient, but there's too much room for shenanigans.
So DeSantis is killing Dade
Oh,
County.
oh,
He's
I can't-
killing it there.
Amazing.
He is
And
killing it.
that's Dade County.
Yeah.
Do you own a screen? I got an HDMI back there.
Right there. I got it.
Another-
I'm good. I'm good.
This guy's a pro. This is what IT professional looks like. This is what low T professional.
I got
looks like.
I got zero. I just do it by luck. It's luck of a
See,
killing.
and I'm cyber, which means I just unplug everything. So that's what we ultimately want.
I got my entire house hardwired, so the only devices are on Wi-Fi. Are just like-
Virginia 7 is trending nationally on Twitter right now. That's what we like.
Virginia what?
Virginia 7. That's Yesley Vega.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna do the
Yeah,
dangerous thing. We're
the-
gonna do the dangerous thing and just
Uh-oh.
jump into Twitter live
Yeah.
without screening the.
Uh-oh.
So these are the candidates: Yesley Vega, who's not the supervillain. Yeah, she's a what county does she live in? Prince William County, sheriff's deputy. I think her husband's a Marine.
Cool.
And then we have Abigail Spanberger, former CIA officer. Now, here's the thing for you guys who don't know, like you're Jack Ryan types, you're like a CIA agent. And what the CIA actually calls agents is they're called officers. Okay, so
Yeah.
she didn't run a field office. She was literally that girl. I mean, it's on her Twitter. It's not a secret. But she was an actual agent, and I just no.
Wait, she was an actual agent.
Yeah. So
But
a
she worked in the
CIA
field?
agent, like a spy, is actually called a CIA officer. So it's in their clandestine.
Mhm.
It's all on Google. We're not
Well-
giving away any secrets here.
And it doesn't always mean that they're like undercover doing something
Yeah.
hidden. So, some of those you cannot reveal.
But
what
even
they are.
spies need to declare themselves to government agencies whenever they're going.
Technically, like, are you kidding?
Right?
Here's my deal.
Are you kidding?
With,
No, this is like it's
with
the
my,
law.
With my experience, I don't trust anyone who has the title attaché. And if you're
It's
a
still-
State Department attaché, I'm convinced you're
I
agency.
Well,
used
that's
to
the-
work at
that's
the
the-
State Department.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
the
could tell
thing,
you
that,
some stuff,
like,
but
I
this
used
is-
the contract for y'all, and no.
This
no,
is-
no.
This is what they're supposed to. They're supposed to be claim, not claim. What's the word I'm looking for? If they are a foreign agency member, a foreign government agency employee, they're supposed to declare themselves.
And they do, and that's
So
why
that's
that's
what-
why the agency has all of their
Well-
officers pretend to be State Department attachés.
yeah, they don't have
Right.
to declare what agency they're with.
Right.
Yeah. They have to do cabinet level, so they can
Correct.
say, "I'm with Energy's another one." I'm sorry, guys.
Department of
Like,
Energy.
you guys are so.
Why are you in
I'm
Afghanistan?
with Energy. Department of Energy. You guys have security clearances that I've never heard of, and I had security clearances
have-
that they've never heard of. Like
Department of Energy has the Q clearance.
you guys got all kinds of
That
stuff.
goes back to our guy.
I'm
Yeah.
convinced the president is not in charge
Yeah,
of
hold
anything.
on,
the
hold on.
Secretary of
I've got
Energy. That,
QAnon on
that,
me. Just a minute.
That's
We
the
gotta
Q
take an order.
clear.
that bulb confused guy with the heels and the flag dress, he's got more,
That's-
dirt or
Remember,
whatever.
we all take our marching orders from Q.
The Q. We got the Q
Do you
clearance.
guys
Have you ever
have
even
any-
listened to his podcast? Have you ever listened
He has
to
a
him?
podcast?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
No, he does. That's the thing. We're all supposed to be followers of Q, and we don't even know where to find his message.
They've called me that online.
Yeah.
Absolutely not,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, you're chewing
Yeah.
on.
But here's the thing, though. In our circles, we all have some friends or some relatives that are Q. Or Q. What are they? Q heads? What do you Q guys? What do you call yourselves?
Q heads, I haven't heard that.
The live calls you Q-tards. I know that, but we're not supposed to say libtards.
Oh, why not?
These people don't. I mean, this is like back when they said that Richard Spencer was one of the leaders of the alt-right. And it turned out Richard Spencer was one of the Charlotte's guys.
Yeah.
He's got a mailing list of like 42 people.
Yeah.
But CNN put him up on their shoulders and made him somebody. No, I don't know any conservatives that had anything to do with that stuff.
I don't know any conservatives that had anything to do with alt-right. And almost everyone that I know that was affiliated with Proud Boys was a minority of some kind.
Yeah.
Asian, black, brown, BIPOC, whatever you call
current
it.
leader is Hispanic.
Yeah. And he's on trial for the January 6th stuff. They just sentenced one of the J6ers to like 3 years. The one who sat at not Pelosi's desk. One of them sat at, I think, like Mitch McConnell's desk or something.
Yeah,
No, it's Nancy
imagine what a
Pelosi.
horrible crime.
Nancy
you know?
Pelosi's this. Is that the guy who
No,
took-
not that guy.
No, that's the
that,
Buffalo
that
guy.
guy did get sentenced. He
The
got
Buffalo
sentenced.
guy.
This guy that I'm talking about got sentenced a lot more than that guy.
What?
Yeah.
But the guy.
It was Mitch. Yeah, this guy sat at Mitch McConnell's desk. He didn't
Oh,
put his
it's
feet up or do
outrageous.
anything. He sat there, and he didn't even pose for a picture. There's just video and picture of him.
Yeah.
And they gave him his unlawful trespass is 3 years in prison.
Wow.
So speaking of alt-right, I heard a new term. Somebody was talking about Rumble, and they call it alt-tech.
What is that supposed
So
to be?
tech platforms that allow conservative stuff are now alt-tech. It's
Oh yeah,
alt-
like an
alt-right,
alt-right.
alt-tech.
What morons these people
Oh,
are.
now Rumble is alt-tech.
You know, these people are morons. I swear.
They're
Like,
morons.
you know, I
but they're also
I
they're
always-
blind morons.
up until last year, I was hesitating to, call these people names.
They don't hesitate to call you
I
names.
always went after the politicians. The people I never went after. I basically, because I stay true to the fact like, hey, choose what you want to do what you want to do. I don't care, as long as you're not infringing on my stuff. But that has changed for me because the name calling, the insults,
those people would stone us to death if they could get away
absolutely,
with it.
absolutely. So you know what? It's a fair game.
Yeah,
It's
No,
a fair
I'm
game.
just- they can
I
only
will
push so
call you
far.
everything that I know, and in Farsi,
Yeah.
and in Arabic, whatever language you want, I'll add to it. So, it's ridiculous what they're doing. It's ridiculous how they talk.
I think there's an alt dog.
Yeah, it's an old dog.
Yeah.
But it's polls are closing in Ohio. What's gonna happen in Ohio?
This cracks me up. If you guys haven't seen this, so 538, 538, I think, does decent polling.
No, 538 does.
Yeah.
He prides himself on being a real statistician and pollster, even
Yes,
though
but
he's
this is the thing on their website that cracks me up. This is where they show a little bit of their true colors based on who gets pulled. Who
Right.
gets pulled for so they have a thing. It's called live analysis. It's on their website. They did this for 2020 as well. And it pulls tweets. So it pulls tweets. Now, of course, it's only going to pull tweets from a certain kind of person
Mhm.
that probably votes a certain kind of way, donates a certain kind of way.
The current balance of power sits at 36 Democrats and 32 Republican seats. We'll be updating the totals in this. What?
Yeah. But
Like the
when
numbers
you-
are-
so it's like, okay, they're doing their thing. But when you look at the tweets that they pick, it's like messaging, like
I know, no,
it's like these are the blue check leftist oligarchs that try and message to us and try and what's the word like condition us to be ready for the vote flip at 3 a.m.
Propaganda.
on Saturday morning, next Saturday.
Yeah, well, condition you. Yeah, that's it, the term.
Prediction markets have generally been more bullish on GOP chances than 538. But the trajectory today has been interesting. Like, now the trajectory today from the polls that I went to in deep blue Loudoun County, it was like over the moon. It was over the moon for Hung Cow. And what we wanted some insight on school board races, but unfortunately, not enough people cared to really give good insight into school board races in the exit polls,
which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what we
They
care
were
about.
like, everyone was like Wexton or Cow, and the other people, whatever.
But I mean, weren't they marking numbers? Weren't they doing exit polls?
Yeah, the exit polls at the polls that I went to. I mean, here, let me pull up the last one.
Well, I'm saying, didn't they tally, survey and tally folks?
They did, and so we got good exit polls for Congress, but not for. Unfortunately, we can't really trust, especially since school board is a nonpartisan position. We can't really trust whatever you would call a down ballot for that. And then a lot of the races had two Democrats or two Republicans or.
Look at this stupid tweet. Had to fight my way through groups of MAGA hat wearing Republicans trying to stop me to vote.
Forget that didn't happen. That's a lie.
Wow.
They kept screaming, "You ain't gonna vote in MAGA country."
Is that
MAGA
Jesse
County.
Jesse
Smollett?
Jeff Charles.
Jesse.
The dude's name is Jeff Charles, destroyer of.
That's ridiculous.
That's Jesse Smollett's like spam
Jeff
account.
on the right.
Yeah, no, I heard
Being a black voter in Texas is so hard, but I shall overcome Jim Crow 2.0.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's
bro.
Dude,
Oh, bro.
give us a break.
This is.
no, I heard some commentators saying that there were some Democrats that were afraid to leave their houses and go out and vote. It's like, there's no Republicans that are going to do anything.
Oh,
Now that's
everybody.
that's total bullcrap. When you look at yard signs and you look at stuff like that,
oh.
overwhelmingly you see a lot of leftist stuff because it's safe to put
It's
leftist
safe.
stuff. No one's gonna slash your tires,
For-
throw a brick in your
Yeah,
window,
not
burn
that.
your house. They're setting flags on fire.
There
they were. in the
there
summer
could
of
be
love.
conservatives that might yank a sign out, stuff like that. But they're not going to throw a brick through your window or slash your tires.
Yeah.
Folks on the left will do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we got another Jeff. Juicy smell it.
Juicy Smollett.
Oh God, what an idiot!
Man, Twitter's the goat.
CNN's John King. Stay off social media, people. If you're trying to figure out are there really issues with voting, trust your local officials and trust us here.
Oh my gosh! What?
This is awesome.
Again,
These tweets are amazing. I
Guys,
love it.
If you haven't watched V for Vendetta, this is why I tell everyone watch V for Vendetta. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let Mozart in. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's up.
Oh my God, this is so
He
funny.
wants to be in on the election coverage. No, he's not. Oh, you got into the tissues. You got him, dog. Come on.
Oh man, this is so awesome.
My dog Stinky needs a bath. So
Oh, hey, Stinky. No, you go get Stinky on Joe.
yeah, come here. I'm not gonna pick you up, dude. You're just gonna sit. No.
Yeah,
You're
this
gonna sit
one
right
was
here.
awesome too. I know you saw that.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Are we live?
We are live. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to be providing
We've been-
valuable content.
We don't. A dog is a hack. Dogs and children. It's a marketing hack. It's a metrics hack for YouTube. Well, at least for YouTube.
This
All
guy
right.
likes me. You like me, don't
This
you?
is
Don't
that
you?
was
Don't
that was
you?
the funniest freaking tweet I ever saw in my life.
All right. Let's see what these guys are saying. Got to share individual tab because that's when the audio will come through.
No,
Dude, stop trying to go
don't,
over
you
there.
can't jump
And we're
around
looking
that.
at, which is District 2. They've got 16% of the vote in. And Kiggins, the Republican, has a 13-point lead over Luria, who, as Steve pointed out, is a member of the January 6th committee, a Democrat.
Not that I would ever remember a member of the January 6th committee. I just want you to know.
Yeah, have you
This
been
time I
following
believe
that?
there's going to be a red
My,
wave.
my lawyers have.
I truly believe there's
Oh,
going to
there
be a
you go.
red
Right,
wave,
you're
and it's going to be
doing
a
the
very
show.
simple
Okay.
Democrat.
Chris, let's bring you
Very,
in. You're
very
in the
nice.
7th
Yeah.
district. So we're watching the 2nd and the 7th. Again, to repeat, in the 7th, Vega, the Republicans, got a 24-point lead, but only 5% of the vote in. What's going on at their headquarters there? What are you hearing on the ground?
Well, right now I'm at Vega headquarters here in Woodbridge, Virginia. This is filling up fast, and I can tell you the results are coming in. Everybody's eyes are glued to the screen. What our viewers should know about this race: if you're looking for the most expensive House race in the nation, this is it. Combined candidates
Wow.
spending a total of over $40 million. We're in the Senate territory here, just for our viewers. Now, also, what you're going to know about this is if she wins tonight, she'll be the first female Latino conservative woman from Northern Virginia to serve, from
Wow.
all of Virginia, actually. So we can show you the shifting demographic of the state of Virginia over the last decade and how a lot of different cultures have moved in and the areas have exploded population-wise. Another thing we know about Virginia, the only state in the modern electorate to actually go from blue to red. You have Glenn Youngkin to thank for that. And another thing I'm going to tell you about here tonight, shocking right here.
Welcome to.
Almost 1 million people have voted
Hampshire's
early
gonna
in
take a little
Virginia.
while
This
to match.
breaks all records.
People say
So we're going to continue to watch the numbers come in here and stay with Real America's Voice.
I just want to reemphasize, $40 million in a House race, most of that from Democrats. This is a bellwether. I got to tell you, you can tell by the energy there. People know something's happening. So this is going to be an early one. I think it's going to give us an indication. Like I said, Spamber is the head of the class of 18. We're going to see a lot of casualties tonight in the 18, but she's the head of the class. If she goes down, monumental night, and it'll sweep throughout the nation.
Yeah, looks like a big crowd too, Chris. Jump in.
Well, Steve, if I could just add one thing. About 10 years ago, voters were in shock. This is one of the districts that was redrawn recently. This was Eric Cantor's old district. And if you remember, when he was voted out of Congress, people were shocked. This is the heart of Virginia. They don't like what's going on in their federal government at all.
Yep, no doubt about it. Chris Carter, thanks for staying on top of Virginia. We'll be getting back to you. Guys here at the table, we're going to hit a break, but I'm looking at the New York Times site. More and more votes pouring in Florida. Marco Rubio, we've now got 62% of the vote in that big Senate race. He's got a 10-point lead, Steve. Rubio, 54%. Val Demings,
Man, Steve Bennett's got
44%.
such
Rubio's
good
got
hair.
2.8 million votes.
Uh-huh.
So in our home
He's got
state,
such good
Rubio
hair.
opening up a 10-point
I
lead. Remember when this started?
Bannon had
Not
his
just that
longer
Demings
hair.
was a big
Thought
Democrat
it was
rock
kinda
star,
cool.
but that Rubio was nervous.
Yeah.
Big time. This was going to be a tight race. Big time.
Very,
By the way,
very,
and,
When he had the Walking Dead hair.
So, yeah, I guess you'd call it that. You know, it's like for such a prominent person that's on camera every day, he's
Mhm.
just like, screw it. I'll do what I feel like doing.
So
He's
random thing here. I have been running around all over a huge area of Virginia all day, drinking water. I had some pieces of candy. So I'm going to eat this food, which is something I've never done on a
Oh,
podcast.
biscuit and gravy?
You guys want some?
No, we're good, man. I'm good. Thank you.
I'm good. Thank
All
you,
right.
though. Thank you.
We got like all of this stuff is so crunchy. Like my wife like made all of this except she didn't grow the apples. But like this is like she whips like I feel like she gets a pound like a pile of dust and turns it into a biscuit. So yeah, there's biscuits and gravy down there, and it looks like apple something or other. But I mean, there were minimal shenanigans, if any, that I saw or directly observed or had secondhand accounts of today. Arizona, you guys are screwed out there. Mayor Corruption County is like the freaking
Yeah.
Thunderdome of election
It will
integrity.
be, it'll be interesting to see what does shake out there with the problems. Because if some people voted and the machines don't work, they can't go vote again. So what happens to those numbers?
Blake
Uh,
Masters was on, and what happened? I went out of the studio. That's what happened. We should still be on though.
In some cases, though, if if the conservatives have overwhelmed the polls enough,
Mhm.
even those shenanigans won't work.
Yeah.
And it's almost looking that way. And you also take into account there are safeguards that have been put in place in most places, at least a bit. That should help. I mean, I think that's what happened with the Youngkin race. We had safeguards that we didn't previously have.
No.
Are we back?
This was yeah, we're on.
Go back. Yeah.
This was happening in Arizona. You would go to the poll, the polls were down, and they couldn't check you in or whatever, or they would check people in, and then they would say, hey, you know what, we're having this issue, you go to this other place, and you get there, you'd be checked in somewhere else, you couldn't vote. And I don't know. I mean, I was listening to Charlie Kirk call in some of these numbers, and he was saying that they basically needed like 90,000 votes in 2.5, 3 hours, which isn't impossible. But some of it, for all of the, what do the liberals say? They say disenfranchised voters, voter suppression. When you're sending people, the poll machines don't work apparently. Here's what they should have done. It's in the election law. It's in the handbooks. I've gone through the training. When there are problems with the machine, you do a paper ballot.
Yeah.
You don't send
I think
someone
that's what's
across
happening.
town.
And I think that's what's happening now.
Well, if they're actually doing it,
Well,
then-
now that you've sent, so you're trying to get to work, I send you come to your polling place, you wait in line, I say, hey, we can't do it. I send you across town, you do it again and find out that I checked you in, so you got to get unchecked. You got to go back to me with my broken
that
machine,
shouldn't
get
be a
checked out,
procedure.
go back there, get checked back in. Also, you can use a machine that takes weeks to count when
Yeah.
you could do a paper ballot that gets counted today.
No, there has to be a simple backup in place. I mean, it's just like in the IT world or whatever. You always
There
have
is,
a
but they don't do it.
failover, and the failover that makes sense is just a paper ballot right there. Here it is. Fill it out. I mean, that's easy enough.
I mean, this is not rocket science, guys. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, unless they're just trying to confuse things.
It's not they're trying to confuse things.
It's not like, oh, we never thought this could happen.
Here's the problem. It's because the letter of the law says they may issue a paper ballot. And you guys need to lobby for, lobby with whatever influence or interest you have. You need to write your senators, your representative. If you have someone's ear, you need to say that law needs to be changed to shall. They shall do it.
There
not
has
they
to be
may
a
do it.
solid process in place,
Yeah,
the
the machine
government-
doesn't work.
And in
Use your
IT,
paper.
we have SOPs. You follow the SOPs, which is a series of steps, and that should be part of the process.
This guy's CIA now.
Standard operating procedure.
Well,
If you don't know what this
I was
is.
at NXT, I was at all
Son of a
those
peanut.
places.
I was at state, as an attaché.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
agency?
yeah.
No.
Attaché.
Even my own kids, my two kids are like, yeah, Dad used to work at the State Department. Wink, wink.
That's what my wife says that too. Like, I bet he got to travel a lot. Yeah, where'd he go? I don't know. Oh, what did he do there?
He never told me where he went.
I don't know.
And those departments or firms, if you were a contractor, they'll let your loved ones know that you are doing official business for the firm or for the cabinet level. So for Department of State, Energy, like the YouTube departments, I don't trust you guys at all. I trust the CIA, the actual CIA, more than I trust DOS and Energy.
Well, in this day and age.
But you know what? I think all agencies have gone to shit.
Here's how you
Realistically speaking.
Here's how you can tell.
All agencies have gone to shit.
I almost said Abigail Spanberger. What is her name? Hillary Clinton.
Oh,
Hillary Clinton basically
I just
sends
almost
a
threw
kill
up.
code.
I threw up in my mouth.
She basically sends a kill code Benghazi style, just tactical, hey, destroy it all. And the people that work for her at the State Department, they ask no questions. They just execute it. Oh,
Yes. We bought the hammer from Home Depot.
Yeah.
There we go.
Except for the sloppy work.
Don't talk about Pelosi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you guys see the Pelosi stay here? We got to get pictures.
She's
The
thinking
Pelosi story?
she wants to
I mean,
retire
that
because
Have you heard the
Pelosi.
latest?
I've
Yeah,
heard
Paul.
some of the. Well,
That there
are
was
you
a
talking
third,
about?
there was a third person there? And
Well,
they're-
I don't
they're not
know that I've heard
releasing the
about a
body.
third
Oh,
person.
Yeah, there's a third
They
person.
did say he came to the door when
It
the
wasn't
police got
him.
there, and he said, "Oh,
Some other
everything's
guy.
fine."
Some other guy
They
came to
said
the door.
someone. They did initially say Paul did. Paul Pelosi did not come to the door.
It was Paul Pelosi was not the first one at the door.
A third party came to the door, was talking to the police, and that's why because
Were
Tim Pool was saying that's
Oh,
weird.
right.
Wait, if someone's attacking you, it's when you see law enforcement.
You
that-
run to them. You
And
don't go
Yeah.
back to
the
the
best
attacker.
part is
exactly.
But we're all three in their underwear.
Pelosi knew the guy by first name on first name basis.
All three men were there together. Don't know why they were in their underwear.
Oh, I know why they were there.
Well,
You know,
This is a family-friendly show.
yeah, it is a family. I didn't say anything.
but
they
here's
were
the
going to do cult stuff.
here's the kicker. The kicker is the assault happened in the presence of law enforcement. It's three guys. It's Paul and Hammer Guy, but Paul's got the hammer. Hammer Guy takes it and beats him down. And guy number three that they tried to hide, and they're not going to release the body cam footage because, well, corruption and embarrassment. Guy number three goes to the door, opens it for the police. Apparently, guy number three called the police. And no mention of this guy. And while law enforcement's there conducting his
Zero.
investigation, talking, the assailant takes the hammer from Paul and beats him down with it. He was right there when it happened.
This story changes every 2 days. It's just
And-
okay.
What is
We
this?
can't put this up, can
The
we?
assaults.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could.
Text
I want to
to
put
me.
it on.
You have an iPhone, right?
No.
Yeah, just text it to me. No, you don't. You
I
have,
don't.
you have a lame phone.
A lame phone. Come on, man. Samsung is the way. But yeah, so the guy apparently an illegal alien from Canada, funded by Pelosi, supported by Pelosi, knows Pelosi.
Member
So
of the Green Party. He also
how is he a member of a Green Party if he's an illegal alien?
the Green Party. Maybe it stretches up into Canada. I don't know. Well,
Was
that's
that-
what they're saying. I mean, okay, maybe a supporter of the Green Party. Okay?
Sure.
With all the pride stuff in his yard.
But
too.
here's another kicker. His website, the website that he claimed was created the same day of the attack. His posts on his social media were only a day old. Figure that part out. You know, he automatically became the member of the Green Party. Okay, yeah, but you know, no one's talking about his, because they went back and checked when the website was registered and created. You could check the freaking domain.
Yeah.
When it was
You
purchased,
can
when it
press
was started.
F12 while you're on a website.
Right, and
Hit
they'll
network
give you the
tab,
freaking
and
breakdown of the domain. So there you go. It was like purchased the day of. The day of. So, but what did the Democrats do? CNN, MSNBC. The first thing they said, "Oh, a right-wing individual attacked Paul Pelosi. We should not be doing this. This is wrong. This is attack on our democracy." And again, the freaking democracy. You know, this is their democracy. This is not a democracy that is supposed to be described as a democracy. This is a democratic democracy.
It's a democracy.
It's a Democrat democracy. It's not a Republican
It's the same
democracy.
democracy that Germany had decades ago.
We're not going to read this. This is just for you to see, so you can know what we're talking about here.
So
we're not going to
Prison style.
So, just like that guy, he had to fight MAGA hat wearing people to go vote, and he survived the massacre of voting. God knows wherever he was.
Yeah,
he was probably in Chicago. All the MAGA wearing hats
outside of Subway.
I'm the most MAGA hat wearing person you've ever seen. And
He
I
is.
didn't wear my MAGA hat too. No, that did not happen. That's bullcrap.
No,
I
they had to fight the MAGA hat wearing hat people to go vote, and he's barely survived voting. Barely survived it.
Yeah.
Because
It was a line of Proud Boys around the polling
and QAnon,
station.
but
letting-
the funny part is, if there was a line of QAnon and Proud Boys, they will happily let him in to go vote. That's the irony. That's the freaking irony. Had it been Antifa or BLM, they will not let you go vote.
Nope.
So you see how the story
Yeah, I know.
forms. So whatever he said does not make sense. I don't believe a word that came out of his mouth, and yeah, that's why I leave it.
Now, I hate legacy media as much as the next guy, but I do wish.
It's always going to be crime and the economy.
Oh no! Here, I'm gonna refresh it. I do wish that they showed,
Yeah, I can play it.
the little picture of the house and stuff
Yeah.
on
Who would have
networks
thought
like Real
that,
America's
looking
Voice.
forward to midterms on that night as we were watching those results come in, that those were the same issues that would end up being the prototype for Republican victories across the country.
Latino vote in Florida too. You've been watching that.
Yeah. Let's stay in Virginia, though. I'm looking at these results now. We actually have 32% of the vote in Virginia's 7th district. That's Spanberger. That's the Democratic rock star, military background, CIA, endorsed by Liz Cheney. Republican Latina, Yesli Vega, is now in the lead, Steve. 32% of the vote in. And Vega's got 58.6%. Spanberger's got 41.4%. So again,
Yeah, and look,
it's still a little early, but go ahead. Shocking numbers.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize that the Spanberger race, that's another one of those parental rights issues, because just a few months ago, she dodged a debate with Yesli Vega shortly after she had paired up with a Virginia, I think it was a state delegate, Elizabeth Guzman.
Yep. That's right.
When Elizabeth Guzman was expressing support for felony charges for parents who didn't affirm their children's gender identity. So this is an enduring issue for Democrats that they are seeing time and time again. This past support for these radical types of issues that affect parents and their children, it's coming back to haunt them.
Yeah.
I mean, all they talked about was abortion, democracy, democracy at stake, abortions at stake, democracy at stake, and abortions at stake. That's all we heard. There was no real talk about, hey, dude, you're going broke day by day because gas prices are skyrocketing, food prices have skyrocketed, economy is crashing, inflation's out of control. Now inflation is a Republican talking point because Democrats never knew what inflation was.
Yeah, right. And that's what they were saying the other day, right?
I'm an immigrant from Iran. I know what inflation was at age 13.
Bannon and a few folks on the right put this word inflation in their heads.
Yeah. It just.
No, that's what they're saying. That
Not
they
the
didn't
gas pump
understand
or
the
grocery
concept.
bill?
They didn't understand the concept of inflation.
Inflation.
They weren't even thinking about
Charlie,
it. It's like,
inflation is a white supremacy talking point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
racist.
The
2
average
+ 2
person.
equals 4 is white supremacy.
The average person goes to buy hamburger meat or milk or gas, and they notice something.
If you complain
So
about
I
the
think,
price, you're racist.
You can call it inflation or you can call it uba gluba.
You
You know
call-
what it is.
yeah. I mean, everything
It's ridiculous.
everything is racist. You put gas in your car,
But
you're
see,
racist.
I mean, yeah, and this is an important issue. It is what were people going and voting? What made people want to go and vote? And it is those issues. It's inflation. It's the economy overall. It's the war. It's all these things.
It's to me, it's the drag story time.
No, you know what? That is an issue with a lot of people.
I mean,
And it should be. It's unbelievable.
it's drag story time. Pronouns.
It won't lick itself.
Exactly.
The
It won lick
battle for kids'
itself.
minds isn't won in the courts.
That's what
You're taking 6-year-olds into that kind of environment with it won't lick itself.
Look.
Do you
People
know,
are
do you know
fed
about
up.
U.S. News On?
Hmm?
Do you know about U.S. News On?
No.
You gotta use this website because
Oh, really?
it doesn't give when you watch MSNBC, CNN, and all them. U.S. News On. Here, let me put it on the screen because then I'll just be talking about it. People will be like, "Oh, what the heck is it?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, we hate that you're doing this." Do people send you nastygrams?
To me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Me neither.
My Instagram is
Not
private,
now.
so
Yeah. U.S. News On, because it's got all of the news sites and it has their live coverage. So, like right now, boom, like
See,
Fox
12
right there.
There we go.
But you can hit MSNBC.
Oh my God,
you
was
can
that
hit
Hillary on-
CNN.
MSNBC, or was it just like
No, wait, what is happening now?
Yeah. Click on MSN.
Pennsylvania, where the Fox News.
Yeah, that's
Florida. I'm gonna give people
No,
a little
that's the
hope.
thumbnail.
Oh.
Florida. Okay, what's happening in Florida? The shellacking
What's
is not,
this-
in my opinion,
what's this-
indicative
what's her
of what
name?
folks are going to see across the country. Florida's
Who?
special.
This-
right?
yeah.
And also,
Thank you.
She's the most racist person I've ever known in my life.
Diversity, okay?
Now I'm streaming too.
Oh.
Say hi.
Hi.
What's
Right.
up?
We're live.
So we'll get a lot more vote in a lot more states before we draw any conclusions about the
These
election.
people are gonna
The night
cry.
is young. Simone
At the end of
Sanders,
the night.
Townsend, David Clough, Carlos.
They're
Navarro,
absolutely gonna
thank you all for your
cry.
expertise and wisdom tonight. Rachel, back to you.
I
Do you
pity
remember-
any of us.
Well,
who
that,
are
and
ever
that's half the
described
fun
as
too,
special.
watching them cry afterwards, right?
Well, this is Rachel Maddow. She's known to be, disappointed her entire
See,
life.
they've got it. They've got it down here at the little
I thought-
house.
What is she doing on TV? I thought she retired.
Rachel Maddow?
Yeah.
I don't think she retired.
And the importance of
said
8
she
p.m. Eastern
was.
time is that we've got poll closings, but
With
Yeah, just
millions
like they
of
said they were
votes
gonna
in,
move
that's a
to,
big win for Rubio. Was expected,
like they
but some
said
of
they were
those
gonna move
percentages
to,
in Miami-Dade and other
Canada.
counties where you hadn't
Yeah.
won before
Yeah.
are pretty stumped.
Yeah, very notable.
Well,
What's
and,
happening in
um,
Florida tonight? Over to Illinois, where Democratic
Big Sam
Senator
for Green
Tammy
Day said he
Duckworth
was
has a
moving to
lead.
England.
That race is too early to call at this hour.
In
Bye.
Missouri, the race between
Yeah.
Republican Eric Schmidt and Democratic candidate Trudy Bush Valentine, also too early to call, but Schmidt has a lead there.
Richard Blumenthal in Connecticut has a lead
What
in
was the
his
name of
home
the state?
state. This one also too early to call.
Interesting. In Maryland, Senator Chris Van Hollen will win his race, defeating GOP candidate Chris Chafee. And we can also call the Alabama Senate race, where Republican Katie Britt is projected to win. She takes over the seat from Senator Shelby.
Yeah,
She
looks
was
pretty
his chief-
close there. You sure you're ready to call
Yeah,
that?
we're ready. Chief of staff. She was his chief of staff.
Or you
Two
can just get on any
races
of the
in
videos right
Oklahoma,
down there.
both too early to call, but both Republican
Early to
candidates.
call, but
lead
both
at this
Republican
point.
candidates
First,
lead
James
at this
Langford
point in the
running
first,
for a
James
second
Langford.
full term. And in the special election, Republican Mark Wayne Mullen
Gotta use Brave
is hoping,
to get rid
is
of all
hoping
those
to
ads.
replace
Yeah, I
Senator
just got this
Jim
thing.
Inhofe.
All right, so let's take a look at the balance of power as we see it. 34,
Here we go.
38. Again, the white are the ones we haven't yet called. Majority is 51. It stands now at 50-50. So we'll be tracking that all night. Moving to the governor's races in Florida. The Fox
How
News
are they
decision
calling
desk
these
projects
races?
GOP Governor Ron DeSantis will defeat Charlie Crist. Again, the margins here are eye-popping, and we'll let Britt talk about all of that in just a
Well,
bit.
I mean, it's exit poll days. It's not
That's
actual
an
voting
enormous
numbers.
number for Governor DeSantis in Pennsylvania tonight, and that'll have long-lasting ramifications that Britt will fill us in on in a moment. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania governor race. Josh Shapiro has a very strong lead there against Doug Mastriano. This one is also too early to call. There's 3% of the vote in that race.
At this hour, the Oklahoma governor race, too early to call. Democrat Joy Hoffmeister is running against Republican incumbent Kevin Stitt. This was rocky for a bit, but it's too early to call at that time.
Not enough data to call the race in Maine, though Governor Janet Mills has a lead against her predecessor, who was going for another round as governor there. We'll see what happens there. Paula Page.
And in Massachusetts, we can project that Maura Healey will be the next governor of the Bay State. Right next door in
Democrat
Maryland,
won in
Fox News can also
Massachusetts.
project that Wes
Some
Moore
shock.
will replace term-limited Republican governor Larry Hogan. So that goes to the Democrats.
That's
And the
more.
Fox News decision desk says Governor Chris Sununu has a lead
But
in
you
the
know
great
what?
state of New Hampshire. Numbers still coming in.
Connecticut.
I want to
Democratic
see what's going to
Governor,
happen in Arizona with the
Ted
broken
Lamont
machines.
has lead
I'm
against
really,
GOP candidate.
I really want to know what's
Snake
going
I'm
on.
nervous.
Also, not
Dude,
enough
a
data.
lawsuit. A lawsuit's going to happen. A whole bunch of nonsense. Like always.
This
Oh,
is
man, this
Georgia
is stupid.
Senate. Wait, Warnock is winning in Georgia? But that's only
So Democrat, but
24%.
It's too early to call.
Alabama, we can project that Governor Kay Ivey will win a second term in the state of Alabama.
And finally, Fox News projects Republican Bill Lee wins in Tennessee. He will remain the governor of the volunteer state.
And we can also project Governor Phil Scott, the Republican, will win a fourth term in office. He defeats Democrat Brenda Siegel.
Okay, I think that's the races we have. We're gonna take a break.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But they should
So
not
we're
be
still waiting for a lot of
calling
numbers to
this
come in here. We're
early.
getting some early
They don't have
indications
that
of
many
places like
numbers
New
in.
York, which doesn't
I
close
don't
until
know.
9
I think
o'clock.
really
Well,
they're
let's just
going,
digest.
a lot of
Yeah.
it is exit polls.
Right.
I mean, that.
Yeah. I mean, I just. Well, hey, we can add some to it. I'm not liking the exit polls that I just got.
I mean, DeSantis is killing it. Like he's definitely killing it.
So these are subject to change, obviously.
Yeah.
But here in the 10th, it says about 107,000 people voted today in Congress. It says the turnout for Wexton is 56%, for Huncal 43%, which one, running in a deep blue district like ours, we're not even on the screen. We are on the screen, but so who is this? Oh, Dana.
Yeah.
Anyway. keep your thoughts to ourselves. Anyway, I was supposed to be on with her, and it ended up being Peter, and I was so upset.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
I know.
For a deep blue area like this, a serious victory, a serious, not a victory, a loss, but a sign of a promising future in politics. Is in an Ashburn, a Leesburg, a Fairfax to get 40% of the vote, not to have them have 60 plus.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Yeah.
But anyway, subject change. I really do hope to see this tighten, but as of 7:54, and it is, what time is it? It's 8:07, but as of 7:54, Wexton's ahead 56-43. And the data on
this is such.
Well, how many in? What percentage is she in? What?
So this doesn't say because it has the total vote count. So it says that there were 107,000 people voted, and that's that number you can see. You could go up and say,
okay.
But the results aren't in yet.
Man, why Wexton, dude? What the hell?
But
I know
48.
This is Loudon.
Should be the other way around.
So freaking
This is what's making me feel good though, because
people that are educated and successful and they vote like that. I mean, it's sort of like, how's that possible?
Yeah,
because they're party voters. They're not issue voters.
Well,
true.
They're
party voters.
It's the tribe.
It's a tribal way of doing it.
It is.
Like I told my wife not to vote for any of the budget increases or all the stuff that they were asking for, like $51 million for this.
I don't do that unless I really know the issue. Yeah.
So I told them not to vote for any of them because
I'll tell you how I vote this. I don't care about the issue. I'm a Dave Ramsey guy. Virginia has a surplus. There's no reason for us to contract debts. So when it says I hereby agree to contract a debt, I stop right there and I say no. And I don't even know the dollar amount. So
I was looking at $51 million.
Yeah.
It's like every
No,
year.
this is exactly what I tell my wife. I say, look, think of how much money they've got. They're mismanaging their money. They have the money to do this. That's why we pay taxes. You got to contract a debt now to pay for this? What?
It's because it's all going to private sector.
Virginia had, what is it, $200 million? One, the government shouldn't have a savings account. That's not how this works. But, I mean, when Youngkin got in office, and to his credit, Youngkin and the guy that he brought in to be like the chief finance guy, basically like the CFO of the state. It's called, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They were both really unhappy. Of course, coming from Carlyle Group and knowing how to manage money, they were really unhappy and apparently didn't know that Virginia was sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars of money. And that's what our gas tax thing is. That's how they lowered our gas to keep fighting inflation off our back.
Sitting on a bunch of money and then contracting debt. Or does that make sense?
Absolutely not. Loudon County, you could go screw yourself because, it's the most affluent. No. It's just, and they didn't finish that metro. And don't even get me started.
They stopped at Chantilly.
But don't even get me started on the COVID stuff because I went to a board of supervisors meeting before COVID and all of that stuff. Oh, we're not going to have it done until it's not even going to be a quarter of the way done until July. This is before COVID broke out. This was January 2020. Construction projects got greenlit and accelerated. Digital transformation projects got accelerated during COVID because people went home and the essential workers still went to work and they didn't have the administrative overhead burden bugging the crap out of them. So they actually got stuff done.
Yeah.
Except for here.
My friend's wife worked on the grapevine
Oh yeah.
She worked on. She was like one of the project leads.
Why isn't it down?
Well, no,
It's
she's
supposed
like
to come out.
no.
faster.
She's like Loudoun County wouldn't like it was the worst county to do.
I knew it.
She's like Loudoun County was the worst county to deal with. Okay, the worst. And they stopped it at Chantilly, and that's it. That's the end of the line. It was supposed to go all the way, like the green the green line where the 267 goes. It was supposed to go all the way up there, but they stopped it. They wouldn't let it go.
Bureaucratic nightmare.
I
Sure
wanna
is.
see Newsmax. Are they not on here? I thought they were on here. No. Oh, I don't want to see the chat. Oh crap. Okay. Well, sorry guys.
Hi,
no.
chat on the bottom.
Where?
Go down.
Oh no! Oh come on. Okay, it's gone. All right. Well, we don't have Newsmax.
But yeah, man, Loudoun County it's losing its status like nobody's business, dude.
Oh yeah. Are you
It's
kidding?
losing
Our Commonwealth Attorney, our
it's
education.
losing its status, and it's unbelievable. It's gonna hurt the real estate. Well, I shouldn't say it's gonna hurt the real estate because most of the left-leaning idiots eventually want to take over the county, which they almost have.
Yeah.
And they'll pay top dollar for the house that you live in.
And we'll have more people, more, I hate to use the word Yankees, but people from New York and Jersey and stuff pouring in. So the real estate itself is going to be okay. But, my beef is I had really thought I wanted to stay here probably till I die in this area.
Same here. Well,
And for the first time, I'm sort of, I don't know.
We love where we live. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it. But even now, like, I don't think it's gonna be my forever home. You know what I mean? I don't only
We
because
could get close by. There's West Virginia. There's
I want
Kentucky.
land. That's what I want. I want a big land. I want to
Western
have.
Loudoun's got landed.
I want to have my own workshop. Like a 5 bay
You
garage.
could cross the border into West Virginia too.
But
it's-
Harpers Ferry has gone really expensive. That's like border
Yeah.
of where we live. It's like 30 minutes away.
Harper's Ferry.
But
Well,
I don't want to drive in another hour,
the
man.
liberals here are going to be moving out there too. I mean, if you're going
That's
to be
what
in the
you see in
area,
Percival. The liberals in Percival blow my mind. They live on farms. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
It's weird. Or Hamilton. When I drive through Hamilton, I'm like, what?
yeah, I know.
And their business owner, yeah, it's very confused. Oh, who said it? It was oh man, it wasn't Mao. Who said the last whatever will hang, the last capitalist will hang will have sold us the rope. But then Reagan redid it to make it say would have loaned or paid for it through like nonprofits or grants or something.
I don't know.
It was one of those despots over there,
But
Mao or Stalin or Lenin,
Yeah.
who knows? But that's what they are out there. This is like a little podunk-ish Virginia, farmland and stuff, and they own businesses, and they're like radical Democrats. It's really confusing.
I just think through that, and the more educated they are, the more time they've spent being brainwashed, I think.
Well, that's
And so
what the problem
they
is,
come out of
man.
that system and they can't reconnect to reality.
They teaching them tunnel vision.
Yep.
That's what they're teaching them.
Along with pressure from once you're in the group,
So the social
you get pressure
construct.
from everybody
Yeah,
else,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I want to be in the group.
You can't start thinking on your own, or you're going to get whacked in the side of the head.
I want to be in that group that I'm
the
I'm
virtuous
accepted.
group,
Yeah.
right?
Look, I have a neighbor. Okay, he's a former teacher. He's a liberal, biggest, like a huge leftist liberal. And the other day we were just talking, and he always walks his dog, and I talk to him all the time, and
I bet he doesn't know Demoscen's tattoo. Just get that.
And we talk about
You
things.
didn't read the rules before you came on
I
the air.
did,
You
yeah.
can't have. You've got to cover
Sorry,
that
man.
over next
I
time.
will I'll walk around
Put
like
a
this.
bandage over it. Sorry, go ahead.
So we talk, and like it starts to get to like the liberal issues where it hurts his feelings, And but the way we talk, like, we don't disrespect each other. We don't call each other morons, idiots. You're an idiot. You don't understand anything. Blah blah blah. We genuinely disagree on most of the things, and we agree on some of the things. But what I told them was this: I said, look, you and I, if we put everything together that we talked about, we agree on 90% of the things together, and we disagree on 10% of the issues. He's like, I couldn't agree more. I said, but you know what happens with that 10%? We start labeling each other. We start calling each other morons, idiots. You don't understand. You're uneducated, blah, blah, blah. That 10% of the issue is where we get stuck on.
But he
right?
was an idiot on those 10%.
Right. But again, we were not the ones who started the name calling and labeling. Let's keep that straight, because we never, like, every person that I've talked to, every person that I know who is either a conservative or a Republican or a centrist, never put a label on an individual for the way they vote or the way they think.
And that's why it's safe for them to have all their leftist stuff and to have a red salute on their shirt or whatever, because we're
Che Guevara on their shirt, right?
Yeah.
Because
okay.
basically because we're too nice in a sense, right?
But if we do
We
that
let 'em get
stuff,
away.
I walk around with Donald Trump on my shirt.
Oh.
People want to punch me in the face.
Oh yeah.
And I have to be like, hey, if you punch me in the face, you're going to get hurt. And it turns into a whole thing.
Because they've somehow made it that they have the moral high ground and the rest of us are bad people.
It's freaking nuts.
Fetterman 73%, please.
Oh no! Well, this
no way.
This is only
no way. Are you kidding me?
It's only
Get the
certain precincts that come in that are.
I mean, 73%.
And I'm just seeing same thing here. Clinton County is a small county, but the same story. Warren County, same story. So this is mail voting was brand new in Pennsylvania in 2020.
The hell is that?
Because of the pandemic, a lot of counties just didn't know how to handle it. And I think what you're seeing here is some counties have made adjustments here to get it reported out much faster. So again, you now see Fetterman, with the advantage there of about 177,000 votes over us. Obviously, very early. This is all on the strength of mail-in ballots. So the story is going to become in Pennsylvania. Same-day vote. Is there going to be enough same-day vote from Mehmet Oz to catch up with John Fetterman? I wanted to update you. We're talking about House races too. The gains that Republicans made in Florida. We also talked about the 3 districts that Republicans are targeting in Virginia. And I wanted to update you first on the 10th district outside of Washington, D.C.
It tightened some more.
That is tight.
Woo! Yo, honk out, gotta get that shit, man.
That's tighter than
71% is still a long way to go.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, young Cal.
That's almost the victory right
Democrats
there.
obviously are happy, but Democrats want to see this number get much bigger with the remaining votes.
Dude, that's a close call. That's like a 5,000 votes.
That's amazing.
5,000 votes, man. That's
digits in the mid-low single digits. Even Republicans would take that as a good sign nationally for them. We've got even more of the vote in the 7th district here. This is where Abigail Spanberger, the 2-term Democrat,
she's killing it though.
Leslie Vega. You can see Spanberger now, as more vote has come in, more of the early vote has been processed, is inching up here, but still is trailing in the count and continuing now with more than 50% of the vote in. This might be getting a little scary for Democrats in the 2nd district here, down by Virginia Beach. The Republican, continuing with that advantage over Elaine Lurie, the Democrat. Again, there's sort of 3 tiers here. These 3 districts I'm showing you, sort of on a decent night nationally for Republicans, they expected to win the 2nd. On a good night, they
Notice how many places are places
that
Biden won.
Night, they talked about winning something like the 10th district. So give you a sense of kind of the tiers of expectation that are set by those 3 districts. But that's where it stands at Virginia right now. And I'm just checking back. I'll land on Georgia and just see where the Senate race stands.
Steve, I want to tell you, I'm going to ask you in a second to check in the North Carolina Senate too after we get Georgia here.
Yeah, it's just, again, statewide here in Georgia, we're getting a lot of the Atlanta metro area in. You can see in these counties what's happening here. I mentioned this at the beginning. You've got mail vote, you've got early vote, and that's a lot of these counties are releasing that first. They're not all releasing all of it. What we're finding out as this comes in, I said this is the first time this is being done like this in Georgia. Some are releasing just the mail, some are releasing just the early, some are releasing both. But you are seeing,
comes in
the
lopsided.
Democrats
So what's
make
the
pretty
point?
big
This
advantages,
is,
especially those big counties immediately in the Atlanta area. But one thing to keep an eye on, if you look at the statewide numbers here, I think one thing to keep an eye on here is the gap between Warnock in the Senate race and Stacey Abrams in the governor's race. So you got Warnock running statewide right now with 53.8%. Same ballots, same number of ballots coming from the same places in the governor's race. And you see Abrams is running about 3 points behind that. Another way of looking at it is Kemp is running about 3 points ahead of this. You get about a 3-point gap between the Senate race and the governor's race in Georgia right now. But again, a lot of this is the strength right now, the Democratic advantage you're seeing. A lot of that early mail vote, especially in the Atlanta area, though we are getting a lot of rural voting too. One county, by the way, this is one, I think this is going to be key. Actually, we might as well flag it. I'll put the Senate race up right here. And notice there's about a 6 or 7 point gap here between Kemp and Herschel Walker in Cherokee County. This is one of the biggest Republican plurality producing counties in the United States of America. Cherokee County, getting north of Atlanta here. Now, Donald Trump won this by about 40 points, close to 40 points in 2020. But that was actually, that's not up to par with how Republicans used to do in Cherokee. Take a look at this. Trump got 72% in 2016. And you go back to 2012, Republicans used to win close to 80% here. So this is one of the reasons why Joe Biden was able to win Georgia in 2020. He got blown out in Cherokee County, but he didn't get blown out like Democrats used to get blown out. And so I think this is an interesting number to keep an eye on as the rest of the vote comes in from Cherokee. Is Herschel Walker able to get past that Trump 2020 number? That's what he's got to do, because it wasn't enough for Trump to win the state. Walker's got to get past that Trump number. You can see already in Cherokee County, Kemp is past that number. You had asked about North Carolina, so I'll just put that right up on the screen here, and we can see now more than half the vote is in North Carolina. Sherry Beasley continuing to lead the tally, Bud continuing to get closer. It's now inside 10 points. It's now single digits. What's happening again is the same day vote is beginning to get added in a lot of these counties that initially reported out. So let's just take a look here. That initially reported out, so it's now down to an 8.3% margin. Let's take a look at some of these. We got Mecklenburg County.
But we knew about North Carolina though.
Since we last looked at Union County next door here. So Union County is a bit like Cherokee County that I was just telling you about in Georgia. You're right outside of Charlotte, kind of a core Republican county, but Donald Trump kind of underperformed in 2020. So remember, Trump won the state in 2020 by 75,000 votes, barely. So this is a kind of county here.
Barely by 75,000.
He wants to be running ahead of this Trump number.
They hate Donald Trump so much. He barely won by 75,000 votes.
That's barely.
Barely. 7,000 votes is decent. 75,000, give me a break.
A couple of places, Wake County, again, we're about where we were. But,
look, Senate is tied. 36-36.
Same day vote, largely.
Dude, this is tight. That was 34-38 like 2 years ago. Oh, man.
Projection to make in the Massachusetts governor's race. The Democrat Maura Healey is the projected winner in Massachusetts. This is a pickup for the Democratic Party in terms of governor's races.
This is a tight race, too.
1% in. 1% in. They already projection at 1%. Massachusetts. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got enough.
We got 1% in.
Just mentioned we're going to go back to New Hampshire looking at those comparisons.
Oh, we should keep it. We're gonna keep it on MSNBC because this is where comedy happens. This is where you have 1% of the votes in, and they already make calls. So let's keep it on here.
To run for that Senate race, he's very popular. I think.
But this is too early to call.
Again,
New Hampshire 11% in, too early to call. Massachusetts 1%, it's already been called. I don't know, man. Math is racist.
Here is that there is a tax on your general election popularity of being the MAGA candidate.
And Kemp is a great story in that vein too. I mean, Kemp is as
sort of culpable and liable for the voter suppression laws that have been voted in, predicated on the big lie
Voter
of which
suppression
Kemp,
laws.
Say it.
certified
Say
voter
it. Say
fraud.
Donald Trump. What do you want
But
to?
Kemp is running ahead of Herschel Walker, and Kemp was
Voter
in a primary
suppression
as a MAGA
laws.
candidate.
Yep.
Beat him.
Oh, he's a MAGA
We have one
candidate.
more call that we need. to
Herschel
take.
Walker is a MAGA candidate.
Just in the last
Yeah,
second, if we
of
can put
course.
that up on the screen, NBC News can now.
Oh, they're gonna
project
make
that
another
in
call.
Vermont, the projected winner in the Vermont
0.7%
Senate
of
race
the vote.
is Democrat Peter Welch. Again, we also
Put the
just got a
numbers
call
in.
that
I think they heard us. I think they heard us calling them out.
Victory in Vermont, holding 37 seats in the Senate, Republicans holding 36, 27 seats still undecided. All right, we're going to take a quick breath. We've got another set of poll closings coming up in 6 minutes. We'll be right back with that.
All right, here's the deal. You might want to mute your you might want to mute us on your cam for this, because this is definitely a this is definitely
I'm not muting nothing.
okay.
I'm not muting nothing, bro.
Well, here,
This is-
while I pull
These
up
guys,
Timcast,
you
because
mean?
I want to look at Timcast for at least a minute, but YouTube before I put it on, I gotta believe they're showing all the graphics, all the seats, I gotta believe, like Hunger Games style, that the selected, elected, the real nameless, faceless oligarchs are just laughing because it's all it could all be planned out exactly to the last who gets this school board race. And it's almost like this would be political theater.
It is political theater.
Well, no, you're saying it's all actually, it could be tightly controlled.
Yeah. And we know that election tampering is a thing that's possible because we have agencies.
Look at
We
what is
have
he wearing?
agencies here. I'll put it up.
You gotta love
Ian.
him. Yeah, you gotta love him.
We have agencies that have departments where on the door, on the placard, I used to walk out. I won't say any clients or agencies specifically, but I used to walk down the halls in certain rooms. And with the technology that we owned, we would deal with a deputy chief of staff, or director. That was, or some general or something. Very rarely a GS like 15. It would be an SES something. We'd walk out of the doors and the other doors would say stuff like, oh, this is your Russia office. This is your China office. There are placards on things that is election tampering, election interference, whatever, but it's outward facing. So this is clandestine intelligence stuff that's outward facing. So
amazing.
No one knows where. I don't know where. Who knows? I don't even know if the people.
Freaking amazing.
Know. But we know that it's possible. There are people in these agencies who deal in that. But it's not possible here, folks. We live in the freaking United States.
Well, that's the thing, though. So, but yeah, you think about it. The more they can push things to machines, and the more they can push things to mail in and whatnot, then the more control they do actually have. So, you know, we've been moving in that direction. If we can't pull it back to paper ballots and more traceable, trackable things, then we could have a problem.
You know what pisses me off? I was on a call. I won't say their name or gender because you would know exactly who it is. But I was on a call with the top 3 leader of an influential state. And I said, hey, just tell me, is this on the table? In the decision-making rooms where you are, is it even a serious point on the table to get rid of these electronic voting shenanigans, to get back to paper ballots? And they said no. They said no. They said not at all. And this person has this person gets on the calls with all of the senior leaders of all the other states and at the national level, and I knew they were going to shoot me straight, and they just said no.
Well, I mean, look.
Next question.
the machines have been in place for many years, and from
decades at this point.
From my understanding, that these machines should not be hooked up to any servers, internets, or anything. They should be fully independent.
They should be, but they're not. They can't.
Right, but the thing is, they should be fully independent. Meaning, the only thing should be plugged in is the power.
They should be closed circuit. Yeah.
Just the power line.
Yeah.
Okay. So once the vote's in, it counts, it has an internal circuit.
That was the idea, and you take that out and report it.
Correct.
Yeah, but the more sophisticated the technology gets, the more you become able to get in there in sneaky ways.
I understand.
The
and change
technology
things.
should be sophisticated.
The technology
It's supposed to
exactly.
do something that you can use a piece of paper to do.
The technology
Yeah.
is basically how we used to take our SATs, right?
Yeah.
You fill in the blank,
Yeah.
and it goes through the scanner, and
That's
that's
what's
it.
required, but there's much more technology in these things.
We don't need touchscreen. We don't need
I
any
know,
of that
but
crap.
they want that stuff.
I understand that, but it should be declined. This county
I know.
should decline from
But here's
purchasing
the thing.
those.
See, now we get back to this thing of uniparty versus conservatives. Who's really in control?
The
Nationally,
nameless, faceless oligarchs.
yes, nationally, you've got the big business oligarchs, you've got the tech oligarchs, you've got all those folks.
And the
you know,
political elites, because the GOP, the
It's-
state central, the Virginia
Yes, those
RVP, they
people
hate
want.
us.
Yes,
And it doesn't get any more American conservative
I
than
mean,
this.
I think
And yeah, we think we have more power because we see a bunch of Republicans win, but too many of those Republicans become part
they're
of the
rhinos.
machine.
They turn into rhinos.
I mean, it's awfully,
It's true.
it's very tempting because if you become part of the machine, you get money, you get power,
Of
your family
course.
is set up, your kids are set up.
Of course, but that's
I know, but how
that's
do you?
democracy, my friend.
Well, but how do you get a small group, people like us and folks we know around Loudon? How do you get a small group to actually take back that power? It's
Well,
just-
that's
it's so hard.
this is where you take away this,
like that.
this is where
like
look,
this.
Charlie, this is where you take away democracy and bring back the republic. For the people, by the people, right? For the people, by the people.
Yeah.
That is
You've got the right
Bill of
concept,
Rights.
but how do you do it?
How you do it? You hold the assholes that went into the
I know,
office
but what you're saying is
responsible.
you're saying a
As
small
Maxine
group of
Waters
people,
said.
You're
Maxine-
saying
no.
a 10% of the people hold 90% responsible.
One
You
of the
can't
ways
do it.
one of the ways is criminal
Maxine
justice
Powers said it the
reform.
best.
When people are held accountable to their actions, people that flagrantly break the law, like Hillary Clinton did, it's not okay to say it's improper to prosecute someone at this stage or at this level.
Correct.
Screw that.
Yeah.
If we
There
are a
should be-
republic where the law sets on top
Oh.
of everything, lock
Right
it up
now,
for
they
real.
want what? COVID amnesty? What was it? COVID amnesty?
Yes,
Oh,
that
what
was
is-
the Atlantic magazine article. They basically
COVID amnesty.
admitted that they were
But
wrong.
that woman is
I
a
give 'em that.
professor. That woman is a Brown professor molding the minds of the brightest.
Yeah.
of the
So-
future
Well,
generations.
So
as
that's
the
where you
meme
hold them
said, it's like,
responsible.
we had to watch our grandma die on FaceTime alone, no amnesty.
Yeah. And we couldn't go
Look.
to the funeral. We couldn't. There are grandparents that
There's
haven't
already
even
a
met
bill
their grandkids.
that they want to kill the stock trading bill for for politicians, where the politician, their spouse, and kids are not allowed to own stocks or trade stocks
They're
because of
not allowed to
insider
own or
trading.
trade stocks only in industries that elected official is on a subcommittee or committee that has oversight over it. That
Well-
makes so much sense.
Yeah, because that's insider trading.
No, that makes sense. I could go, or if they have, I mean, even a blind trust doesn't even necessarily work because there could still be things in the blind trust that you could influence. You might not be able to go in and buy and sell, but
They don't
yes.
care at all. We're supposed to believe that Paul Pelosi is a more highly skilled, essentially day trader.
He's an idiot.
Than Warren Buffett.
He's a stock market genius.
He's an idiot. He's an
Well,
idiot.
he runs around in his
I'm
underwear
sorry.
while people
I'm
chase him
sorry.
with a hammer.
He's not an
He's
idiot.
a stock market genius.
He's not an idiot. He's actually a very smart individual because he made crap load of money. So he did use and abuse the power of his wife.
Yeah. Well,
And-
you say he's smart. I don't know if that means he's smart.
No.
He's
Look.
got a certain amount of smartness along with his
No.
crookedness.
Smart. You could be a crooked person to be smart about it.
Yes.
Okay. Smart definition of smart doesn't just go one way. Definition of smart goes many different
Hey,
ways.
there's Sarah Reynolds or Lisa Reynolds. Lisa Reynolds, but I'm gonna ping her. See her back there.
Who's Lisa?
Lisa Reynolds. She was on. You were on the show with her.
Oh yeah.
You just go confront them where they are, and then remember they like forced Sarah Huckabee Sanders out of, was it a Waffle House? Am I remembering this correctly? Did you guys remember that?
We got a message from Carrie Lake here, everybody.
Arizona, stay in line. If you are lined up, ready to vote, and the polls close, they gotta let
Yeah, I
you
love
vote.
Carrie
Do
Lake.
not
Mhm.
get out of line until you cast that ballot. That ballot is your voice, and you must vote tonight. We need a red tsunami
Take it
in
away from
Arizona.
democracy.
We'll talk to you later.
Carrie Lake and Ron DeSantis are like two of the best politicians I've
I
seen in
think
my
we got
life.
some Texas numbers.
Texas.
The Beto is way too
Well,
close
that's
to call. It's just Austin and Dallas right
It's
now.
Austin and Dallas.
Yeah,
It's a major
I saw
city
that.
that, of course, is coming in. People in the
Go back
comments
to
have commented.
MSNBC though.
When we were
Yeah, man,
commenting,
we had
they
some
could
funny
come down.
stuff.
No, but
We gotta get to this level.
yeah,
We gotta
early
build
on,
our
the
media
votes are still
complex.
coming in.
I
Yeah, votes are
know,
mainly coming
dude.
in from the
If
major
we-
city areas.
If we have the space and the time, we can do that. We have the equipment. We just need one more camera. Have you seen the inside of a studio?
I
It's
have a
awesome.
camera.
It's a conference room. We need one more.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we need two more
I
because
have
we
two
want
cameras.
to. It's a room like this. It just has a big table, and they all sit around
Yeah.
it and just talk to each other.
And you
like
need
that.
one person operating the camera.
Yeah, that's what.
That's easy for us, right?
That's what
Lydia
Lydia
does.
does.
Lydia, yeah.
But didn't she leave? She left, I think.
No,
she's
not
still
here
there.
now. Everyone left. Ian left for a while, and she was out for a while. Maybe it was medical. Who knows? Yeah, there's Lisa Reynolds right behind him.
Bernie Sanders had the opportunity. The world is ripe for
She's
it.
right behind her?
He's
He's
such a
such a- Oh, I can't- oh, that's what she is.
Brazenly talk about the corruption within the.
Here, let
you
me.
know,
Why is she
obviously,
sitting by herself?
this is what you created two-party
Yeah.
system. It's been set up that way.
All the,
Thomas Massey talks a lot about it. On purpose,
probably
it's
all
two
the
chambers.
seats.
They're not supposed to be two.
So how they do this, because this is at his place, they all have just been hanging out all day,
Mhm.
playing games and eating and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're having dinner and then they jump on the stream.
Well, there's a divide also. with Republicans.
Man, I'd love to be on his show.
Are either neocons or
I have Lydia's
wanna be populist. Some of them
email
are
address.
actual populists.
Well, what's
But
going
as of
on?
right now? How do you
She
guys
never
see that?
responds
I
back
want to
to
ask
me.
you Drew, this.
Real quick, DeSantis is up 17 points, up 1.2 million.
That's a blood.
Wow.
But Drew, you're in the kind of conservative world more than I am. How do you see this divide? Who has more support on their side, especially when it comes to the political institutional power? Is it neocons? Is it the establishment Republicans?
No, it's not neocons.
Are populists bigger, more powerful, or do you see this election being a
Faith and fly conservatives, baby.
Mhm.
I think the establishment on both sides, the uniparty is always going to be unified behind the scenes. And then when you talk about the donor side of that and the money side of that, they have the ability to really pull some heavy strings behind the scenes, especially in DC. So as much as the establishment continues to be unified behind the scenes together, I think that's always going to be a problem for the populist movement, whether it's on left or right. Because I mean, you take a look at Bernie Sanders.
And see, that's
how
what I'm
he got
talking about,
destroyed
MS.
Immediately by the establishment.
These
Two times, multiple
guys-
times. It happened. So as
You
long
say
as
we just
they're
have to rise up
continuing
and
to be
take it from
established
them.
and unified.
We're
I think that will
smaller than
continue
they
to be a
are,
problem,
really, in some
for
ways.
conservatives and populists. On
I
the
know,
right.
but
I will say this.
Look, we're not smarter. We're not smaller. We're just not as aggressive.
Oh, we're not nearly as aggressive.
We are not
We're
aggressive.
They're
No,
balls to the
they'll
wall
cut
all
your
the
knees
time.
off. Yeah.
Okay. When I say,
I mean,
look, when I
We
say
went different roads on that one.
we're not aggressive. We, as he said, like one person that breaks the law. Perfect example is Hillary Clinton. She completely went against everything.
Oh, that server thing. If any of us did that,
Oh
third,
my
what do you
God.
think?
Okay,
30
we'll be
years
in jail
federal
for
prison?
treason. For treason, where they came out and found out like her server was actually hacked by the Russians.
yeah,
Right?
well, they
She
don't-
colluded with the Russians.
Yeah,
Openly.
She
She
the one
100%
that
colluded with
the
Russians.
Biden colluded with
She
Ukraine.
colluded. The report came out.
Biden is owned by China.
She paid
Yeah, there's that.
her
too.
count. She paid a British spy to
Treason.
collect
I know.
dirt
But
from
they
the
don't-
Russians.
They don't care about the rules.
As an American,
It
you
doesn't matter.
you need to be
It's-
careful with your foreign contacts. You cannot have foreign relations with a foreign
This is- this
intelligence
one- this-
official.
Dude, Christopher Steele is a foreign agent, former foreign agent. Okay, he came and got paid millions to produce a document that was as fictitious as Star Wars.
I know we're dealing with a mafia-like organization.
I mean,
they don't follow the rules. They don't care. They lie, cheat, steal,
so
kill.
This is where we say we're not as feisty and as strong as they are, because Hillary should be prosecuted.
So the question is, the hump that we have to get over is pretty big. How do we get over that? That's not easy. We've been talking about this for years, and it doesn't happen.
I understand that, but this is where individual Republicans comes in. I have the ability to go to my representative, talk his ear off, yell his ear off, and tell him, get your ass up, talk about this. This is the issue.
I put my prediction on the screen.
He's got big business folks in his ear too.
This is how I see the balance of power.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen either. That's the problem, Joe.
This does
happen.
Well, okay,
it doesn't
what
happen.
Joe has happened. Let's be clear.
We're going back in the country where it's happened.
We're going back to the Tim Pool thing of Civil War. You're talking Civil War.
It's only spoken of, but it never happens.
Well,
it did happen before.
Not civil. So true.
How many years ago was that?
The thing.
Few.
Well, here's the thing. What's the life cycle of a republic? The greatest republics that have ever been. 250 years.
I'm not arguing that.
Well,
I'm not arguing
Republic
that.
Was
but
like
look,
maybe a little.
You want to preserve the republic? You want to preserve the republic? How do you preserve the republic? To hold.
Well, Thomas Jefferson gave us that.
We don't have the republic that should be preserved. Doesn't exist. I don't want to preserve this.
No, it's true. We're off the rails.
No. This is not. This is not a republic. This has turned into a democracy.
Well, we need to build.
It's turned into an oligarchy.
Now, do you see what I'm talking about?
We need to build back better. We need.
Do you see what I'm talking about? We are a republic, but it has turned into a democracy. So it conflicts.
It's really turned into an oligarchy.
It has turned into a big government.
It's not even a democracy because the leftists don't get to vote for who they want either.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Hillary, Bernie Sanders.
It's an oligarchy.
It has turned into a big government. Okay, big government makes choices and they follow through with it one way or another.
It's an oligarchy where
it's an oligarchy
under the skies of democracy.
You say here's the what we have to do. Then the next question is
not what we have. That's what's going to happen.
I know, but
we're not doing it.
You have to get. You have to get specific, and there has to be an actual strategy and actual tactics. There has to be a process. We don't have the process.
That's not true. People who are aware. And you can, so this is my center books right here. And my center books are the books that I'm actively reading that I don't need to go look for. And I've had books about leadership, books about being a better worship pastor or whatever, occupying that space for years. They're all gone. Now it's on combat, on killing, the writing, our sacred honor. What's that Glenn Beck thing? I don't know. I'm not actually reading that. I think
you got a Glenn Beck.
We got what we have to do.
Overton window or
what needs to happen is going back.
There has to be a strategy put together.
We have to go back to accountability. Accountability. If you step out of the line, okay, where you have reports of Joe Biden openly discussing a gambling site with his son and his brother and some other guy, I forgot who. So they were openly discussing a gambling site where he was supposed to be making millions as a vice president. Were illegal, unconstitutional.
No, he's beholden to China,
right?
And you're right. There has to be accountability.
If you don't,
but the point is, what are the steps to getting there? That's the hard.
That's
part.
why you have representative in there. That's why you have the Senate. That's why you have the House.
No, screw those guys.
Okay, that's why you have FBI. That's why you have CIA.
We need a bodacious. We need bodacious law enforcement prosecutors. Is what we need. Because the thing you got to understand about feds have jurisdiction coast to coast, border to border, and sometimes overseas. Sure. So when they see stuff like this, any one of those feds that put their right hand up and swore the oath any one of them could have gone and put the golden bracelets on Hillary Clinton, and they all knew that it would ruin their career. It would do this. It would do that.
That's the point.
United
They're
States Attorney
influenced by
wouldn't-
the Uniparty.
And they should have said, I don't care. I'm going to make them fire me. I'm going to make them.
What did they
haul
do
us
to
into
Roger
court.
Stones?
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah.
What was Roger Stone's crime? What was his crime?
There are people going balls to the wall. Donald Trump's going balls to the wall.
Right?
Yeah.
All the people who were included in that Russian collusion scam or the Russian collusion investigation, none of them got charged with Russian collusion. Every
Right.
single one of them got charged was for their own stupid financial decisions that they made. It was all financial related.
Some of
It
this
was-
stuff wasn't even hardly legitimate.
It was all finance
It's
related.
like, isn't it
Oh,
the
you
Marxist thing? Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime.
No. It had nothing to do with anything. Everything was finance related.
That's what I'm saying.
Taxi tokens.
That's what I'm saying. It's bogus.
Fraudulent loan application. This
That's
and that.
what they did. but
had
how do you-
nothing
how do
with
you
Russian
fix it?
collusion.
What do you have? What do you have?
Oh, is my text still up? I want to get the link. I don't want to. She's sending me pictures. Message. Let's drag that over. Send the link. That would be so much better.
Hunk out is 51%. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the
What?
latest poll.
Ah.
Come on, MSNBC. When are you guys going to come around?
Hunk out 51%. Dude.
All right, this is the poll
80,
as of
that's
1.5 minutes
81%.
ago.
Dude, that's gonna go higher. He's gonna
Yeah.
probably like be 53%, dude.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes ago, Virginia House District 10, Hung Cow, 51% of the vote.
Oh,
81%
dude.
in. So it's going to be 330. It's going to be like 325,000 votes. Wow.
That's gonna be
It's
dude.
going down.
And that's Loudon.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So we're gonna see turn of
I can't
events.
believe it. I can't.
I want to
can't
see
believe
California,
that.
man.
That
I want to
would
see
freak
what
me out.
I want to see what's going on in California.
Can
and
you
New York.
imagine if
they
Loudon
stop
flipped?
voting-
Loudon. I mean, one thing for Virginia to flip.
Yeah.
I mean,
How's
dude.
Fairfax? Jim Miles, great
Fairfax.
guy. Jim Miles is a great guy. If Jim gets over 40%, that's the victory there. But
happened to the abortion issue?
oh,
Nobody cares.
Yeah, man. I mean, look.
Is he crying yet? I mean, oh, did I say
In
he?
Arizona, one of the things we have to
Hey,
think about is the fact that Arizona is an open carry state, and a
Did
lot
he
of far right in
transition?
Arizona.
This is also not a. This is a close race.
Why are we talking about guns, girl?
Intimidation. So I have to ask if any of the
Voter
discussions that you're
intimidation.
seeing
Mhm.
about this, as you described in the
Voter intimidate. You didn't let them get into the
the
polls.
internet and,
Oh
and
my
now
gosh.
social media, whether they are asking for in real life protests, whether they're
I
asking
just
for people to
texted
go
Hung
physically
Cow.
go
I
to a
don't think
place
I'm
or
going to get a
do thing.
response. He's getting ready to be a congressman.
Oh,
Intimidation.
everybody's
So I ask if any of
texting him.
the discussions that you're seeing about this, as you described in the
Yeah, I sent this.
sphere,
This is the intimidation.
of the internet and that part of social media, whether they are asking for
Do you wanna
in
see?
real life protests, whether they're asking for people to go physically go to a place or do a thing.
Oh, good. It
That's
just
the-
it froze right when I was getting ready to talk. So, so guys, we got about 10 minutes left. They are going to release new numbers at 9. So we're going to stay for the 9 o'clock release of numbers. We'll watch that. We'll probably laugh out loud, and
Yeah.
then we'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the show. It means a lot to us. It helps in ways that you couldn't even imagine. That little step, just liking it, leaving a comment. Subscribing is important, but probably the best thing you could do is share this. Big Tech does not share our things at all. No notifications, no ranking in the algorithm. They can't stop you from sharing it. If
Yeah.
you hit share and send it to 3, 5, 10 people in your contacts, that's huge. That is.
liking and commenting is also will also help the algorithm. So please like and comment below.
100%.
Any comments you put is fine, but like and comment, because that actually helps the channel to grow, and it'll mess with their algorithm, because we 100% get shadow banned as soon as we open our mouth. So
we all have to work together on this. We have common goals, and we need your help.
Yes. So, and we're here to protect this republic. We're not here to destroy it.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the existence of the United States really makes you think about what's possible, because hey, we're here, so maybe we can fix the mess through legislative process.
Look, but
there comes a time you have to talk about the real mechanics, the steps and the process to get from this bad place to a good place. And you can't just say general statements. You have to talk about
100%. But I gotta make this comment, because look what's happening in Iran. Okay, the people in Iran are what the hell are they fighting for? They're fighting exactly for the system here. That's what they want. The people of Iran are fighting for a system like here, so they can actually express themselves. They could freely speak. They could freely be who they want to be.
The old system that we used to have.
An old system, exactly. The old republic.
They're hearing stories.
So so this is exactly what they're fighting for. They're not. When you have big governments,
for gender,
they're not,
change.
because in Iran, government controls everything. Everything's controlled by the government. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you represent yourself, the way you conduct your business, everything's controlled by the government. That's a socialist, communist way of doing business, right? So that's when you have the government in place. Although Iran's system is a little bit different than the socialist style, because they are a capitalist system, but the government has their hand in it. They have tentacles inside all the place, but it's the individual's rights are at stake over there. This is what they want. This is what they're fighting for. They want to be free of that chain that's around their neck.
To overturn the whole system, really. To do
and
that.
over there, the government doesn't care. They'll shoot to kill.
Yeah, if it comes down to that,
they will shoot to kill. If you're destroying, if you are protesting, they will shoot to kill. They're not there to.
It's like the North Korean system.
They
you
use
rise up, you'll just die.
They use live rounds, man, and the prison system is not. It's not like the prison system here, where they give you baklava every night.
Big screen, no big screen.
No,
TV,
there's no big screen TV. Hell no.
The cost per inmate in the United States is about $30,000 to $35,000.
Yeah, imagine that.
You're welcome, taxpayer.
Imagine that. It's all one.
Remember, it's not the fault of anybody that's in prison.
Well, no,
we're letting them all out anyway.
The prison system is privately run. The private one in Iran, it's government-run prison system. It's not private, so they get to do whatever the hell they want.
Even the commercials are gay on this channel. What the frick is this?
Yeah.
Look, what here? Les, do you think we're making this up? What is this?
I have no
It's
idea,
all
dude.
Broadway musicals, right?
Timber.
Dude, the other day I was watching
When owning
Cooking
a small
Channel.
business gets real, Progressive helps protect what you built.
Progressive, all right. That's not
Progressive. It says it all, right?
You were doing what?
I was watching Cooking Channel. Then a commercial came up for STD prevention, and it was all gay couples.
Yeah,
Everything was
always.
just like gay.
Yeah.
One of them
A Cooking
appears to be a
Channel,
woman,
dude.
but it's a big, huge white dude in like long hair for one of the couples.
I don't remember. I think I saw. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it's a Cooking Channel, bro. For God's sake, put like Carl's Jr. on, or like Hardee's, or like Burger
The
King.
agenda infiltrates everywhere. That's the point.
I mean, it's the Cooking Channel. Please keep politics out of this crap. Just
they want it
just
everywhere.
show me restaurants, lobsters. Like that's one channel I like to get away from all this crap and watch some cooking, and to just jack it up for everybody.
And this is part of the whole ESG, right?
Yeah.
Companies all need to do this. All advertising, everything needs to be ESG.
Oh yeah, how are we going to save the climate? The hole in the ozone closed and temperature swings are actually
the
pretty
social
moderate.
stuff, the Yeah. Well, as far as climate change goes, maybe it's better now. I'm enjoying this better.
How come they're not pushing hydrogen cars?
That's a good bet. We can do an episode on that. I'm still team nuclear. I almost said nuclear.
No, I'm fine with nuclear.
I think we should do we should do an energy episode.
Why?
Because there's
why
great
ain't
stuff to
nobody
talk about
pushing
there.
hydrogen?
I've not even considered that.
I don't know that hydrogen would really power everything the way.
No. Full cars.
Neither does solar or wind.
Look, hydrogen.
Well,
actually,
if you want to go to what doesn't work, I
Look,
always tell people to push
hydrogen,
the solar
when-
panels. You could have hamsters running on wheels, and if you get enough, you'll produce energy.
Just on
It's not efficient.
just on availability, hydrogen perks my
I
interest.
literally watched I was watching YouTube and there's this lady, she reviews cars or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a car manufacturer in California who just built a hydrogen sports car. Almost 2,000 horsepower. That gives you 1,000-kilometer range on a single fill up. 1,000 kilometers.
Well, there's got to be something you're not telling me though, because maybe it's the price of the hydrogen.
It's going to be expensive to purchase the vehicle, but the exhaust, what do you think it's going to give out? Water mist.
I mean, if there was something we could go to, I mean, I still think we're going to find solutions soon.
I went,
But
and I give you another
hydrogen-
one. I went to DC Auto Show probably like 4 or
They're
5
gonna-
years
They're
ago.
gonna walk it up one by one.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like one
They're
by
gonna
one.
walk
This
it up.
is so
1,
stupid.
2,
Yeah, but-
3. Give
So
me a break.
MSNBC?
I went
Why
to
are you still on MSNBC?
I went to a
It's funny.
I went to a DC car show. Toyota had a hydrogen vehicle prototype. Oh, sorry, Honda. Honda had a hydrogen vehicle prototype. Never spoken of again.
I think Fauci thinks he's on.
But here's the thing. You can build all sorts of prototypes, but it has to be something that'll work and be affordable.
Sure.
I
Do you
mean,
think hydrogen vehicles is going to cost more than an electric vehicle?
Well, it might not be the vehicle. It could be the fuel itself, the hydrogen itself. I don't know. There's some aspect.
Okay,
Because,
let's.
I mean, it's still a free country. You could start up a car company and sell those.
Oh,
things and make a
absolutely,
$1
absolutely. But you know what? The big oil industry does not allow it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big.
Hey,
big
we
oil's
don't
lobby is
don't
intense.
bash oil on this chick because we're sponsored by Big Oil.
Yeah,
All
right.
of our money
I
comes from
wish.
Big Oil.
What I'm saying is,
That's what Media Matters says.
yeah. What I'm saying is,
Look at
that's-
our setup. You know that's
Yeah.
not true.
we're poor.
It's because that's where Dana is. That's why.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off from here. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and definitely put your comments down below. Peace out.
100%.
In these cities, though, is the amount